Okay. I'm just waiting because the volume's gonna go over our volume. I want to make sure I mute this before it starts officially. Oh, I appreciate your patience.
Take your time.
Thank you guys. Thank you, fam.
It's
Okay.
amazing you can do all this tech stuff. So good on you.
There we go. We're good. We are on YouTube. So if anybody that you know wants to see what we're up to tonight and can't get in Zoom or whatever, or Zoom's troubling, here is the link for the YouTube. So you can just say, hey, check us out there. That would be awesome. But this again, like this is being recorded, so it's gonna be archived and can be shared. All right, I'm gonna do the official welcome here. All right, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy MLK Day. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We observe him today, and it's just such a special day for us to be able to launch an important body of work, a document for the people called Los Angeles Poets for Justice, a document for the people, and this is work from the people after the murder of George Floyd. So this is in support of Black Lives Matter. This is for our brothers and sisters. This is for unity and justice, and I'm really honored again. There's 52 voices published in this document. It's going to be its full colors, so all the artwork and the photographs that were submitted that are in this document are going to be visible in color as well. So we're so excited. Again, from ages 12 and up in this book, from across the world. One thing that this pandemic has created is it's really shown us our global citizenship. You know, we've always been and have this capability, well, you know, to be able to touch the world in an instant through the web here. But we really feel it. And this document reflects that with folks from Uruguay, from the UK, from West Africa, across the United States. States like Texas are represented, Georgia, of course, California. But wow, incredible. It's so incredible. So we'll share more about that throughout the evening. But I want to get started with our guest from Uruguay. I wanted him to kick it off because it's very late, very late over in his neck of the woods. So what I am going to do, I am going to be screen sharing the book. So when it's your turn to read, my intention is to have your page show, and then you can share. And when it's your turn, just please share the work from the book. And if it's an artwork or a photo, you can speak to the piece. But because there's so many of us here tonight, I want to make sure we're just honoring the work in this publication. Again, I want to acknowledge my partner Gatoska, co-editor of this document for the people. Couldn't have done it without her. She's a big part of Los Angeles Poet Society Press, and again, I'm just really excited to have her here helping me and making this project really come to life. So thank you so much. All right, so let me do my screen share. And
Jessica, if I can just go ahead and also say that
you can go ahead and get yes
thing printed out. It's fine to also just have me speak, and I don't need to be seeing the screen for that matter.
Okay. Okay. So Hernan, you can go ahead and you can begin, okay. And then I'll bring it your page up. But Hernan, Jordan, everybody.
Thank you. Well, I really want to thank you, Jessica, for making space for this poem to be included, and thank everyone who's putting their time into a night like this. I'm just going to quickly share my information from Instagram in case anybody wants to connect after the event. I am in Uruguay, so I am 5 hours ahead than all of you guys. So thank you for honoring the request to put me among the first ones, because it's past midnight right now. Hold on, let me see. Where am I? I'm having trouble finding the. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, cool. So this poem was written actually in the memory of Eric Garner, but I feel like the nature of the events is so close together that to amplify what happened with George Floyd, it's also relevant. It's called Mint. It was initially performed in the East Coast in Boston, close to where I was at the time. I'm from Argentina originally, but I live and work in the US as well, in Providence, in Rhode Island. And I remember that when this happened, a lot of people were outside protesting, and I was writing this poem. So that's what I felt like that's what I could do. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I've been trying hard to understand what is behind the use of violence by police officers. I don't intend to find and weigh the motives of people to wear the blue uniform. I don't intend to justify the actions other people did before they were held against them. But on repeated occasions, when the path of the two crossed one another, the result demanded widespread attention. There's a good reason for that, although the good reason might be covered by heavy velvet curtains. Questions are like fingers looking for the openings between those curtains. Facts are the foldings they run through, and when eyes can't see past them, it's hard to offer proof. In times we lack experience and don't know where to go, I will start with a guess. Perhaps we should start giving more love to police officers. It seems like they need it as much as we need it too. Perhaps then it will be evident that we don't need more people in police uniforms than there already are. Each one of us is responsible for their own person before anybody else. Each one of us is responsible for their own person before anybody else. The responsibility to govern ourselves is within ourselves. The responsibility to govern oneself lies on that same person. This being such, we ought to realize that the police should never be bestowed upon this task. The weaponry in billions can't be coincidental. Exacerbated, it piles up, subsequently is passed down from the national army to each state. SWAT teams are increasing throughout and house raids multiply to stop the illegal barber and even chicken fights. That somewhat connects the reinforcement and the line, the social demo fear, the person who's about to rob me and justify the violence on this side. Who'll aid the store owner who's crying on shattered glass and stolen merchandise? That's not the ones who will hug him once the riots pass. Who's watching on TV while riots rise and pass? Doesn't worry about being a suspect on the street, for he's driven in his car and the pen to sign new deals is already in his hand. But who's now crying at a coffee or praying at the press? Who's got Salvation Army written all over her dress? Or fearing for his life, or seeing devil's eyes, or can't question any orders, for the mission comes right down. Who's sending out the orders and what's trying to protect? Who is above disorder while cutting out the checks? If that one now can hear this, does it do it for the rest? If it doesn't, I want to point out that discussing things is best. If it doesn't, then I ask him to restore the lost respect that confusing high-armed power with democracy has brought through authorities that now kill, perhaps they think they can. Where's our fear? Where's our trust? Do we value wealth too much? Who's in power over whom? What are laws for if today justice they can override? And does everyone outside want to simply rules obey and let someone else decide all the weapons to be made? What's then to be afraid of? Is it color? Is it wealth? If I was to go somewhere with this public debate, knowing class is here already and the killing here too, when I answer what to do, I'll avoid speaking in tongues. If we can't get rid of the killing, I guess we can start with the guns.
Snap! That's when we throw the mic down. Boom! Wow, Hernan. that was amazing, and also the rhythm and the rhyme that you had, the cadence of that piece. It's righteous. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the space.
It's an honor, such an honor. I'm so happy you were able to join us tonight. Yeah, Hernan Jordan. All right. Next, we are going to bring up Nicholas Eppinyon. Let's see, Nicholas. Let me bring him to the active speaker. Let's see. All right. Where are you at, Nicholas? Oh, there you are. I see. Okay. Thank you for being a part of this. That is amazing. It's amazing to have you. Let me bring up the page. There we go. I'm gonna be opening up my tablet so I can look at the TOC here. I meant to print it, but I kind of ran out of time. But I was like, that'll be a lot easier than trying to. Here, let me see if I can. The shortcut keys don't work in this program. So I love my shortcut keys. Okay. Oh yeah. Let's see. Let me see where you are. I think my apologies. Or if I did email it to you, if you know what page you're on already, you can put it in the chat and be like, Jessica, page, da, da, da. If you find yourself or if you already know. Otherwise, sorry, you gotta sit with me while I scroll through. Here you are, 163. Okay. Yeah, once I get the tablet up, it should go a little smoother. I'll already know the page number I need to turn to. So I'll get better, I promise. 163, Nicholas. Okay, so I think Nicholas was going to speak about what his piece here. But Nicholas does represent one of the some of the youth that are published in this book. So I want to just let's give him a big snap. You can unmute and snap yourself and just praise him for sharing his voice and being brave. Being a brave young person. Thank you, Nicholas. All right, you're up. It's your turn. Nicholas Eppinyon. Or you're muted, so you might want to unmute. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Nicholas, where'd you go? Nicholas, are you there? Or what happened? Did we lose your connection? Huh. Where'd you go? I think we lost his connection. So maybe, let's see. Give him another few seconds here. Oh, here he is. He's back. Okay, I guess his connection. Okay, phew. I was like, where'd he go? So yeah, he's on page 63 if you want to follow along, but otherwise, yeah, I'll have it up here on the screen. So this is, again, the release party for Los Angeles Poets for Justice, a document for the people. We're here, and up next is going to be the voice of Nicholas Eppinyon. You have to unmute. There you go. Hi, thank you. Welcome. All right, you're up.
Thank you. I guess I should call it a memoir more than anything. I saw George Floyd on TV. I saw him crying for his mom. I saw him begging to be let up. The police forced him down. I didn't understand why. He hadn't done anything wrong. He'd only been trying to buy something. It didn't take four people to restrain a man who wasn't even fighting back. It didn't make sense. So I wrote about it. And I want to thank you for putting my memoir in your book.
Thank you, Nicholas. And honestly, it's an honor and really, applause to you for writing about what you saw and writing your memoir and, how, what you were feeling and being brave to share it. And you're opening the door to other youth to be able to share and give them courage, but also to connect, because a lot of us were feeling a lot of the same way. We're seeing the same things, and it's important to document the responses of all of us. So thank you so much for being a part of this with us. Thank you. All right, so I think next we're going to have Marvin Dorsey. So let me bring up, and I have my partner. She's like, hey, I can help. Gatoska, thank you, sis. All right, page 203, we're going to have Marvin. Marvin Dorsey. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, Marvin.
Hey, Jessica, how are you? Thanks for having me read tonight. I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you here in this collection and also to see you tonight. It's always great to see you, Marvin.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I wrote this poem about the young man that got murdered the week before George Floyd. His name was Ahmaud Berry. He's a young man who was chased down by these racist white supremacists and shot down. It's funny because sometimes I think as a poet, you can't soften the words of the experience or whatever it is. Sometimes you just got to put it the way that it is. So this is that type of poem. But you took it down, Jessica.
Oh yeah, I just wanted folks to see you for a moment so they could see the person behind the words and.
Thank you.
Yes.
So the poem is called "Do You Want to Know What He Said?" Just beneath my beautiful black skin is anger. I've tried to push it aside, but here it is. After hunting down the young black male jogger, do you want to know what the son of a bitch said as this young black male jogger lay dying in the street from a point blank rifle blast? The sorry ass white man stood over him and said, "You fucking nigger." Who you gonna get mad at? Me for saying the word, or the crazy ass white man who calls me a fucking nigger? I'm just keeping the fucked up shit real. Oh, and by the way, the word nigger isn't pronounced the N-word. Thanks, Jessica. I appreciate it.
Dang, thank you, Marvin. Dang, it is real, like you said. Thank you. Keeping it real. All right. Our next presenter. I was looking for that in the notes. All right. Yeah, super powerful. Yeah, feel free again. Drop info in the chat box, ways to connect, comments on the poem. Like he says, he's totally keeping it real. Is Josh Evans? Are you're here with us? I think I saw you join in.
Yep, I'm here.
Yay, Josh. Okay. Let me bring up the doc. Gato, do you know what page Josh is on?
I have a physical, if that's easier, or I don't know what you want to do.
Let's see. Yeah, the physical's fine, and I'll find it up here. But we did publish a few of your pieces. Actually, I think all of them. So you have them all? Do you have them all?
Yeah, well, I was going to ask because I have the poem and then the essay. I didn't know which one you wanted me to read.
Both both. Here, let me give back. Let me find. Yeah, you can go ahead and get started. I'll find your page. Oh, and here's the cover. Here's the cover of the book, everyone. Pretty nice, huh?
Awesome.
And this photo, this is from Sophie Len. So she was the cover artist, and she also has other artwork within the book. But I just thought, I mean, this was just so powerful. That photograph resonates so much with me, with lots of us. I mean, yeah, it's powerful. So let's see. So go ahead and you can go ahead and get started, and then I'll do this on my end. Oh, there's the finder button. Okay.
Okay, so I guess I'll start with the essay that named the poem. Hello, everyone. My name is Josh Evans. I'm a storyteller and poet out here in Los Angeles. This essay is called Blue Eyes, Brown Anguish. And I wrote this when there was hangings out here in I think it was Palmdale. But when the hangings were happening, it was too much. So I wrote about it. Strange fruit still swinging from the trees. Red ichor dribbling laboriously through these blues, leaving black scorch marks in the shape of a brown heart. To remind you, a real human died violently here to swing in peace. Sometimes, when I speak to white people, I avoid looking them in the eye. Not because I'm afraid or because I deem myself inferior, but because I don't want to have to answer the question. It's a rather loud question, pulsing relentlessly behind those wavy blue eyes, even if they never speak it. It's the question they aren't sure whether or not makes them racist, but are certain that if they had it answered, they could fix racism. In their defense, it is a very important question that deserves answering, but in my defense, it is unfair that I must defend them when I answer it. What is it like to be black? Look up at that tree over there. That gorgeous black man shriveled up like an Adam's family Christmas ornament. Smell the death on his lips. Taste the hum of wind through hair once brightly animated. You, as a white person, see this and think, how sad. Your question is, I wonder what happened here. Yet for me, it is very different. I am at once berated by graphic recollections of ancestral memory, reminding me that the highest law of this land has always been the expendability of Black life. This is not a new thing, or an aberration, or even a very old thing. I am bearing witness to Hollywood's favorite rebooted sequel. We all know creativity in this country is pioneered by the Black community, and that the biggest struggle of whiteness has been figuring out how to co-opt the art we extract from our pain faster than they can replace with the pain itself. I see that Black descendant of the gods rippling like wind chimes, and I recall that this is all according to plan. I at once wonder if my city is as safe as I once perceived, or if I could be next, or my mother, my siblings, my friends. I question if I have lived the life I truly desired to live, or if I am too late. I wonder if I need to write one more thing. Should it be a poem, a song, a play, a love letter in my own penmanship? Then my feet drag to an unwilling pause as Willie grips my heel with his undying clench. I remember that I am both victim and villain in this mixed up, violated land. Awareness blasts through me like a double tequila shot with no lime, and clarity prevails in my psyche against my will. I must consider the possibility that my brother did take his own life. I must consider the indestructibility of the Black smile. Smiles that have concealed rape, hate, brutality, sickness, vengeance, government abuse, depression, hate, powerlessness, abandonment, and even death. Because to do any less will cost not only your life, but that of your family and loved ones. The indestructible Black smile is our only means of alchemy from tip to spool of this mortal coil. Yet I must consider that the weight of that chemical spell grew too terrible to bear, and he killed himself. I confess, there are flashes of moments where I envy the Babylonian tower of whiteness. For to be white means you need not consider anything at all, and your life will continue on just fine. When I sit in my home, on my bed, wondering whether I am helping the movement or hurting it by not delving into each and every case of Black life unfairly, albeit systemically and systematically stolen by whiteness. Knowing there are so many buried cases, my sanity would lay waste to my mind should I dare exhume them all. Convicted by the culpability of solipsistic derivation of not giving my voice to these untold Black stories because they may be too much for me to bear. I inhabit this guilt like the graying balcony webs of a rundown apartment. In its youth, A spider's web is invisible, only growing into range of sight as it fades into the waiting arms of time. America, as it is widely known, is a thinly forged idea, an experiment still in its infantile stages of comprehending the very elements it is attempting to mix. But we are not an element for perusal and pleasure. We are a people. I am not an element for your poking, prodding, and expending. I am a man. Robert Fuller is a man, and not even death can take that honor away from him. Yet I must consider that he took his own life. But this too has certain spiraling implications for such as the Russian doll matrix of the Black experience in America. For if he did take his own life, all of white America will seize upon it as though it were some great victory. They will hold his black gold body high before all the world, alleviating themselves of all guilt as they proudly proclaim, look, he has done this to himself. The progressed Black life is still a Negro after all. They hate that we call ourselves Americans. They need us to be Negroes. They need us to be other. There will be no conversation within whiteness about what drove this man to such tragedy. There will be no investigation into the symbolism of the choice and execution. There will be one thing discussed and one thing only: leverage. Leverage is the cocaine of the white world, an altogether impressive feat given that cocaine is the cocaine of the white world. They will leverage this into justification for their police and their gentrification and their disenfranchisement. They will use this to leverage their altar full of transgression, saying, see, the Negro is helpless. It is our sin which has saved him. So perhaps my brother did kill himself. A profound tragedy. Perhaps he was hung and murdered by the whites. A tragedy equally profound. You want to know what it's like being Black? Knowing hangings can still happen at any time. The letter of the law may declare that I am free, but the law of the land sobers me intimately. I walk upon desecrated soil, densely populated by all the trees that whiteness enjoys most. Today could be the day my death buds blossom and I become the strange fruit swinging from any one of them. Red ichor dribbles laboriously through these blues, leaving black scorch marks in the shape of a brown heart to remind you a real human died violently here to swing in peace. When will this song stop having to be written? When will this soulful dirge finally end?
Wow.
That's powerful.
That out loud before.
That was amazing. That was so amazing, Josh. Like, just such a righteous piece. Such an honor to publish that for you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Did you want to share some of your other pieces? I think here I can now do this. So I have some of your poems. If you want to choose one of these poems, or if you want to read them all.
Which ones is that one?
I have "This Is Not Because She Could Have Been My Sister."
We can do that one since you have it on screen. I have the Ahmaud Arbery one printed out, so we could do this one and then maybe the Ahmaud one.
Okay.
Yes, this is not because she could have been my sister. Dedicated to Breonna Taylor on her birthday. This is not because she could have been my sister, even though she could have been. It's not because she could have been my girl, even though she could have been. It's not because she could have saved my life as my EMT, although she could have. This is because she was assassinated in her own home, like a domestic terrorist president, violently put to sleep like Old Yeller, chained to the fence posts of life with pillows, blankets, romance, and dreams. Like she was the beast with hate frothing around her lips. There's actually an edited version, which I just realized, with the follow-up that she was not asleep, but it's the principle stands. In her sleep, she was put to sleep by protectors of the peace. Semantics is a sick game, and we keep getting caught on the last level without our lucky quarter. But luck isn't a positive force trusted and cajoled. Luck is a commodity traded amongst the rich through the currency of injustice. Luck turns Black neighborhoods into snowstorms, into eye-scraping lens flares that never resolve into something real. They want us to barter with our lives, even though they're going to kill us anyway, just so they can say we died the way we arrived, as desperate, begging, powerless property. Today she would have been 27. Say her name. Today they are hoping we forget her story. Say her name. This is not because of who she could have been to me. This is because of who she was unto herself. Say her name.
Yes. Okay, let me see if I can find the other piece. So, yeah, a lot. Josh, I think he has like a 4 or 5 pieces in here. I mean,
Not really.
we
That's so funny.
here it is. Yeah, no, we asked for up to 5 pieces, and depending on what y'all wanted to do, you could submit up to 5 pieces, and if we were if we resonated, we wanted to publish them. So, all right.
No, I appreciate it. This is awesome. Okay, so I have it in front of me, but I'll rotate. So this piece is called No, dedicated to Ahmaud Arbery. On February 23rd, 2020, Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old black man, was murdered 3 days before the 2012 anniversary killing of Trayvon Martin by 2 white males as he was jogging through the neighborhood of Brunswick in Florida. On April 26, 2020, the New York Times published an article of the murder along with the video. On May 7th, 2020, the white killers of Ahmaud were charged and arrested. On May 8th, 2020, people around the country ran 2.23 miles in honor of Ahmaud. No, not today, and probably not tomorrow. My stomach is a broken vase leaking the Stygian flower petals of my murdered brothers and sisters. Stop begging me for views, as if our Jericho Mountain bodies are your cinema. Don't you dare place my wokeness under the bar of social media acceptance, claiming my blackness is in limbo because I don't want to see the footage of yet another unanswered prayer. Sometimes I wonder if the mothers of black babies writhe in extra pain from the parasitic flames of the target seared into their innocent child's back. A brand from irons we didn't forge, rendering marks of melted scorn into our flesh, marks we don't want and can't get rid of. I wonder, is there a fragment of their love that resents us for ruining their chances of being the mom they wanted to be? My mother was born 16 days after I was, 55 years earlier. I was 9. When she broke the bad news about black magic. Did she lose sensation in her tongue, having to explain to a former 8-year-old that demons were once angels and hate is what seeps from broken halos? I questioned how much of her soul she had to trade in order to make sure I understood that my pages could be ripped out at any minute, simply because my story was typed in black letters. Sometimes I wonder how she feels being the parent of a fugitive, or if she holds me responsible for the useless wings limp on her back. She birthed me freely, and I became her shackle. So no, the news feeds don't need me. Not today, probably not tomorrow. Because who knows, the next star of this American reality series could be me.
Wow. Jesus, that's real. That's just being light about it. There's just so much that you say, and you say it better than. And that's why I thank you for your words. Thank you, Josh. I'm gonna bring up the next contributor. But wow, this is just the beginning of this book's life. So we're gonna continue to tour this book, and there's gonna be more opportunities to share. And I'm really it's just such an honor. And the LA Poet Society Press is just such a dream come true for me. And just really happy. I'm really happy that we could put this together and document what people are feeling right now. All right, our next guest is Jane Park Smith. And let's see, I think you were on page 25. I apologize for any lag. I'm trying. I need to invest in another monitor. That way, that'll move me along faster. Where is she? I have Michelle Smith. Okay, let me try Jane. All right, 24. Yeah, that was it. And I'll be sure to mute myself. I'm sorry about that. I forgot to mute. I'll get into the swing. All right, Jane Park Smith.
Hi there, everyone. And Josh, you are one tough artist to follow. Kudos to the way you read and how you speak and the words you've woven together. My heart is definitely very moved. So thank you. And okay, so as you can tell, my words are very few. I included an image because it was the imagery I saw that weekend when any kind of privilege along Melrose was absolutely broken, and difficulty finally brought so many diverse neighborhoods into a reality check and a common ground. And so it was important that a vision of an image spoke more than my own words, because I felt there was so much clamor and chaos that to add my own broken heartedness wouldn't lead to a higher view. And so I kept my words short because I was so hurting and broken, like so many of us have been. So I chose a haiku because it makes you keep your words very short. So here you go. It's called Breaking. Cataclysmic shift, our systemic shattering, quite a harbinger. I felt moved to pen these words because if you take them on the inverse, starting with quite the harbinger, I felt that what we saw on the ground guerrilla level is where we are all on common ground. But if you take it to the second heavens, then the system of world powers is currently being shattered. And if you take it to where I am calling all of us to look, which is heavenward, where I believe, if you believe there is a creator of all, then a cataclysmic shift, unlike, not too much unlike original creation being absolutely obliterated and reborn, but because of God's power and grace, that's where I wanted us to start, at the cataclysmic shift, that there, as awful as it is, there still must be hope coming. And I'm going to quote a favorite speaker of mine where he says, the skies aren't falling, heaven is coming. So this was my proclamation that as dire and dark as so many things are, and that free will human choice has its absolute abyss, there is also a higher calling we can all collectively choose to avoid the mobs, avoid the chaos, find your singular spiritual view, and know that that is your purpose, to bring hope and solutionism to this absolutely devastating time, because we are without exception changed and never again will be the same. So in that, I was trying to find gratitude and know that it can be yet redeemed if we look higher and higher together for an answer that is beyond humanism. Because that, although emotions are powerful, sometimes they're too much, and we need a wisdom that may be beyond our human brains. And so this is my call, and this is my hope for humanity.
Thank you so much, Jane. It's a real honor to be able to publish this, include it, and also, you know, this is, like you said, a direct reaction, like moments after George Floyd was murdered, and just everything that just started. And I appreciate your words, and also sharing your insight and more information with us. And thank you so much for being here tonight. I can't wait to see you again. And also feel free to, include your information, contact info, and ways to connect in the chat. And that goes for everyone. Feel free to connect in the chat. Also know that at the end of this event, I'll get the transcript, so I can share it with you all too. So if there's anything, that you might have missed, and it's a lot to keep up with because there's a lot of us here, which is a blessing. But that way we can make sure we capture everybody's information. I can also send you all the transcript. All right. Thank you. Big snaps for Jane. Also, in the chat, I just published the reading order. So again, that's the order we're gonna go in. And if you have like a time cap or anything like that, please let me know. Direct message me so I can move you up in the list, or I know if I need to adjust it all. All right, I am going to stop screen sharing just for a moment so we can all see each other. and just say hi to everybody that's watching and joining us on YouTube. Does everybody want to wave? Hey, we have our gallery view on right now. Everyone, you're catching Los Angeles Poets for Justice, a document for the people. This is our release party. I'm Jessica Wilson with the Los Angeles Poet Society. My co-editor Gatoska is here as well, and lots of folks that make up the LA Poet Society and beyond. And we're just so excited to see so many of you from around the world, and that we're all echoing each other through our humanity, through our resilience, and through our activism. You know, we're all artivists. That cool hybrid word, right? So it's just really a privilege for me to be able to see you all and greet you all. I'm gonna do a couple screenshots for the record here. So everyone smile. All right, wow, this is really cool. We have lots of pages of folks on our Zoom tonight. So I'm gonna scroll through my page 2. Everyone smile again. Yeah. Let's see. Do we have a page 3? Well, we have 2 full pages of contributors and guests. So thank you for being here, and thank you for tuning in on YouTube. We're really happy that you are listening. All right, I'm going to get back to the event, get back to the list, I should say. But I did want to get that opportunity just to see you all and see your beautiful faces. And it's so cool. This is so fun. All right, so next on my list is, Estella, my sister Estella. Okay. Hey, sis, let me bring up the book. I'll do the screen share, but this is Estella Victoria Gudero.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all here. I know some of you and some I don't, so it's nice to see new people. And I want to congratulate you all because this is an amazing book. I feel really honored to be part of too. And you're all wonderful poets, all different. But yeah, I'm just so tickled pink right now listening to everybody. Sorry if I have some noise. I have a full house and a dog. But while she pulls up the screen, I want to talk about the first poem. If it's going to be 1978, the first poem talks about, well, first of all, yeah, I think with the George Floyd injustice, what it made me think about was a lot of the times our injustices, that happen come from, of course, experiences we have, and people have had over the years. Everything that happens in the future can be seen from the past. So I had this poem that I thought was very fitting for that, because it was about me coming from a neighborhood where we were all pretty much the same. You could say LA is segregated in some respects, but I was from East LA, and we were taught to respect all cultures, but we really didn't have connections as much with some cultures. So we were bussed out to the San Fernando Valley. And this is a poem in the mind of myself as a 12-year-old. So it's sort of an apology to people because I didn't understand, and parents didn't really talk a lot about stuff, especially Latinos. We didn't talk about other people as much. We were just, trying to be good and quiet, I guess. That's how I was raised. But anyway, this poem is titled 1978. It's my experience of segregation and then integration, which was also good for me. So 1978, I'm gonna read from the screen, Jessica. So I'm gonna hopefully you'll keep scrolling with me. So 1978. The first time I was afraid of them was when I was 12. I rode out to a white school in the Rich Valley on a yellow bus away from mi gente, seeing different people, culture shock slapping the Mexican out of me. People had their own stories and their own pain, but me, insulated in a collage of love in Lincoln Heights. Mama and Papa taught us about being Chicanos, but not much about the evils in the world or its swaths of neighborhood of injustice. Mama made candy-colored dreams of my childhood, protecting me in our hood bubble. What do you expect? Who was Ruben Salazar anyway, or Cesar Chavez, or why the Zoot Suit riots, or the pain of my people, of the racism towards us, or the why of when we decided to not eat grapes? My world was classical music, Donny Osmond on Fridays, folklorico on Saturdays, siempre en domingo on Sundays, the West Side bookstores filled with white people in crazy black hats, topping ringlets, watching the LA Philharmonic in my used clothes. See where I'm at. Singing through holes in my shoes. I knew of the Raza, Plaza de la Raza, but it was just piano and colors, folklorico too. My world was Mexico, Grand Pyramids, and my people on the other side of the border. But when we went to this school, I had never heard such loud, powerful voices. The girls that were bused from South Central were brimming with angst. They belched out and laughter so loud. It was angry. I didn't know that their centuries-old pain was fed to them by their grandmas with the bowl of Thrifty's ice cream, sitting somewhere on a hot porch near Schlosson and 104th. The stories from their other South that dropped slightly ever so from their old lips, drizzling stories with spit, toothless human books. History hit their hearts more than you know, but it was their right to know the truth. The storms of tales their ancestors endured, the white men tried to stuff them shut. The hoses, the marches, the beatings, the hangings, the men parading in white sheets, how it made them holler. So their progeny decided that they would scream louder. They screamed louder when they were at the lunch tables of Portola Junior High, where none of us had ever been thrust together before. We were just an experiment, you know, of the LA unified system, I was later told. I heard their power and their laughs. Convinced they wanted to scare us all, their stares misinterpreted at times. It was just them being 12 too, feeling cynical and hurt from their past. Yes, I am guilty of that, you know, of fearing Black. I kept it to myself until it was time to grow. I should have always known that it was me. Can't you see? My ignorance, youth, and low self-esteem. But it's also where I found the first kiss of my life, a young Black boy with beautiful Black lips, planted it right on my mouth, taking the kiss home, a reminder of his Black existence and his sweet African essence. Forgive me, young girls at Portola Junior High, bust through South LA, in the dawn of light. Let your voices sing, let your freedom ring, let the sounds of modern day slavery escape, let the seeds of hate fade away, evaporate. You must be old like me, but please take my apology, 42 years too late, but from my heart has escaped, searching for peace.
Yeah, thank you, Estella. That is courage and that's truth. And that's how we all heal and we move forward together. We just need to understand each other.
I think that's why I wrote it, because I felt that we all start out somewhere having these, you know, experiences. And then when we just don't understand each other, then it can become, you know, terrible. I'm glad that I wrote that, and I wrote that from my heart, you know, so thank you for listening to that. The next one is called Fear. This one is about racism, I guess, plain and simple. Let me read this one. Fear. This goes to the racist person. Dear racist person, fear is your master, the evil inhabitant in your twisted, warbled lair. This gifted to you in an unwrapped present of hate, way back when natives and Blacks working in muddy fields, breaking their backs for their masters like oxen with no say, who told them faster and who expected their beautiful flesh to only be what makes them money, you see. These virtuosos of control, tired of their European ice and snow, jumped on a boat with their hats of tin, which began their great humanitarian sin. Pillaged and took, stole and plundered, murdered and raped. No, stop and listen again. Raped and stole, took and massacred, plundered and pillaged. Then whips and chains to these Black beautiful beings on ships like sardines, treated like things. For what? For these gleaming cities of concrete and smoke, for this capitalistic realm we live in, the one where we go for broke, For this America of divisions polarized into right and wrong, dear racist person, please understand, there has been some adversity done to you, centennials of lies, when your parents found it easy to turn off their heart and soul, turn a blind eye, make your world so small. They taught you that your reality wasn't to be like ours, that your skin color lacking melanin was stronger. I get it. But let me make sure you get this. If you don't let that voice holler now, if you do not scream about men killing others because their darkest fears erupt, the devil is your master. You serve no purpose for humanity. You may now call yourself a derelict of sapiens. I cannot tolerate your inhumanity, you pitiful, pointless being. Don't let that devil called fear use your body as its puppet. Wake up, Pinocchio. The lies will do you in. Be a real person, not that hardened, infested wood you are not intended to be. Our world is screaming this. God, hear our pleas.
Snaps. Oh my goodness. I like, wake up, Pinocchio. I was like,
Thank
dang.
you.
Thank you, Estella. Let's hear it again for Estella Cordero. Estella Victoria Cordero. All right. We're going to bring up the next person we're going to bring up. We're going to go out of sequence just for a moment. But we're going to bring up Rosa Frausto. So let's bring up Rosa. So let's see. There we go. Oh yeah, this was I really did enjoy this piece. Okay, Rosa, let me pin you so folks can see your beautiful face. I think she's on her iPhone in the car too, so I don't know. We might not be able to see her, but I'll still pin her her voice here or something here. Rosa, are you there? Oh, that
Hello.
hurt. Oh, there you
Sorry,
go.
sorry. I'm in my car. I just came out of work and I was on my laptop and I was scared that my laptop was gonna die and it did. And so now I'm using my phone. I apologize. I am really happy to be part of this. Yeah, I'm here.
Yay, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you made it. I'm
Thank
trying
you.
to
Can you see
find
me?
your no, I can't see you. Are you listed under your name or are you listed as iPhone? Oh, Rosa's iPhone. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
So spotlight you there. I think it's just, do we have a picture of you? Oh, there you are. Yay, we can see you. Hi. All right. So I have your piece. I have it
Am
screen
I
sharing right now.
on? I don't know if
Yeah, we
you.
can hear you.
Oh,
Everything's
okay.
good.
Is my picture on or is my video on? I'm not sure.
No, your video. We can see you.
Okay, so I'm in my car. I was, trying to go home, but I didn't. But congratulations to everyone. I'm nervous, but I'm happy at the same time. This poem I wrote in May, and it was, of course, during the whole riots. I was in Chicago actually, home with my family, and I had just lost my aunt, so there was like emotions of like the riots and my aunt passing away, and I'm in charge of like doing the prayer for family. So I wanted to incorporate just faith and love and God and the injustice, the sadness, the love, the change, and just history. So this is what came out of that. And this is why I named it Amen, because amen to everything. We're alive. If we die, it's part of life, and amen to everything. So this is titled Amen. Amen, amen, I say to many of us here. Amen to the same breath we are still able to take. Because I know right now in this repeated history, many of us might be feeling blue, lost, scared, and with an often non-fear. Amen to those we love and everyone we miss, to this moment and every single second of our beating heart. Because I know right now, in this repeated history, we all crave a hug, a long, loving kiss. Amen, amen to the matter of wakefulness, the key to being real. Amen to the power of our voices. We so plead for change. Because I know right now, in this repeated history, many of us seek peace, a nurtured word to help us heal. Amen to the beautiful brown, yellow, and black color of our skin, to this present protest and a new world record for justice. Because as we know right now, it's the biggest in history. So keep marching, keep standing, speak truth, for integrity is no sin. Amen, amen to the deepness in our eyes. It's the stare of evolution. To saying amen and being blessed for another day. Because right now, we are so awake. We are updating history. So pray, keep the faith, for we need more than just one solution.
Yeah. Thank you, Rosa. Oh my gosh. And reading all, because I've read this book. Gato's read this book. And you uplift us with that. And this book is, I should tell everyone too, that this book is in 3 sections. And it's courage and resilience. It's standing up for Black and brown. And it's also for moving forward. And I felt like Rosa's piece is just such a great way to leave it's towards the end of the book, so to leave people like a message, some kind of like an uplifting. I mean, we're all feeling this, and we're all rising up together here through this.
Amen.
Yeah. So I feel like, wow, this is a great, just that uplifting voice. I think that's a good way to leave the people with this book, so I'm grateful that you wrote this.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I know you're going to be reading Elvia, so representing Elvia Rubalcaba, Miss Rosa Frausto. Let me bring up her poem.
Artists supporting artists in
That's
California.
Right. Yeah. So let's see here. Yeah, I have my the finder guy up here for this a little easier.
Technology, how it works always. With the
She has 2. Were you going to read both of these for her?
I'll read both of them. Yeah, why not?
Okay, great. So 164. Okay.
I practiced for the We Can't Breathe one, but I'll go ahead and do the poetry one.
You're like, you have 2 in here?
I'll do it.
All right. That's a great friend. I love it.
Love her.
All right. So she's on page 164. Here we go. So this is from Elvia Rubalcaba.
Yes.
Okay.
This is titled We Can't Breathe by Elvia Rubalcaba. I can't breathe with the anger that wants to be poured out of every pore and scream out, Ya basta! We can't breathe because George pleaded, please, 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 I can't breathe. Did you push him down harder into his neck? Did you feel yourself powerful as you drained his life? Did you think your bony white knee was sucking up his black power? You had dead eyes as he was puffing out the little life he had left as Mr. Floyd cried out to his dead mama. Fuck you! Fuck all of you! Fuck your hate, fuck your apathy, fuck your power, fuck your silence, fuck your president who empowers to hate, kill more, and to hate more. We will continue to breathe our collective fire down. We come together. We will keep protesting, marching, writing, organizing, collaborating, singing, living, and breathing. Ya basta.
Yeah. Ya basta. I'm with you.
Ya. Es suficiente.
Yeah. Wow, that's powerful.
That when we practiced this morning, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. And we both cried a little bit because that was powerful. And she wanted to. She's here in spirit, so Elvia, you're here with us, and I know you're at work or class. Okay, so poetry. This is another one. I didn't practice this, but let's see how it comes out. Poetry, dedicated to fellow BIPOC poets. I reached out for poetry and I came home, feeling defeated after a long day at work. I popped open YouTube and fell into Mujeres de Maíz's Wise Words Wednesday. Luri Lara's second poem moved me along and lifted me as she described her COVID-19 filled days as a mother and a teacher. I reached out for poetry on a Friday night when I found myself landing on my bed again with nowhere to go, nothing to do but floating around on top of my Instagram feed was Los Angeles Poetry Society after open mic night. And I was pulled in by the diverse poets that dropped their frustrations, their hurt, anger, and disappointments on yet another death of yet another Black man by the hands of our white supremacist sick society. Their words stung, especially when a young soldier, Paige writes, broke down in spoken word her fears about 7 Black brothers. We all found each other, our presence touching virtually, but poets touched all parts of me. Even the left side of my fatty lonja cried, cheered with the body positivity poetry that rang out by the chubby brown poet with matching nerdy glasses. My body held me together as my voice shook, as I shared my poem about facing my father's death in the New York streets. It kept shaking as I recited into my podcast later that late night, a new sanctuary for my words, for me. I reached out for poetry when I cracked open my friend's Natalia Sanchez's new book, and I devoured half of it at 3 a.m, where nothing and no one could cradle my worries away but her words at that moment. I reached out at monthly open mic nights at FMC. I reached out to Las Escritoras de Los Angeles Writing Circle. Who cares? And cut new poem I bring for edits. I reach out at used bookstores in every city I visit. I run to poetry's arms out each Thursday nights, huddled over Zoom with my chicanas, cholas, y chismes chingonas. We connect together again, alone in our homes, or whatever part of the world this is holding us. Saturday mornings for CCC writes, and we write and write and write, and I write because it grounds me, because it saves me, because the words stuck in the middle of my wrist, underneath my tongue, banging against my head, only knows one way to express themselves fully, to escape. Poetry, because the words I read, write, hear, speak, feel are my medicine. Poetry is my medicine. Poetry is my medicine. Poetry. By Elvia Susana Ruba Calva.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. You did her justice, sis. Oh, my God.
Really
That's so
good.
powerful.
That was really powerful because poetry is medicine and therapeutic. I say therapeutic, but yeah, it's my therapy and it's her medicine. But I guess it's the same thing. But
Yeah, we all feel it. We feel it, and I feel the same way. It's healing. The arts are powerful, and the words are medicine. We connect, we relate, and we're heard. Sometimes we just have to be seen. We gotta be heard. Just like, hey, you exist. Yeah, all right, Knuckles. Like, yeah, all right.
that's why we have Los Angeles Poet Society.
Yeah, LA Poet Society in the house.
Yes.
This is our 12th year now. 12 years this year of being there for LA.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for reading Elvia's work. Thank you for your work. And
Thank
be
you.
safe.
Thank you for I want to say thank you to Sarah. She's like my LA, my Chicago family. She's watching and she's supporting. So hi Sarah and
Hey.
everybody else supporting this.
Yeah. All right, Sarah. Hi, everyone. Oh, let's take another moment. We'll do a quick gallery view so we can see each other again. This is my first time out for 2 weeks, which is actually like a long time for me being online because usually I'm out. But it's nice to see you, to see everyone. You're all beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you, of all of you, and thank you for sharing and taking a chance with us, with LA Poet Society, and venturing on, this first book out with the press, LA Poet Society Press, and I keep saying it's an honor, and it really is. I mean, as being published and having that your words in print, that's your immortality right there, right? I was like, how do we still know about these authors that are long past, right?
Yeah.
It's through their words, through their legacies. So this is part of your legacy, and your words are going to heal people. They're going to confront people. They're going to be like, bop, bop, bop. But they're also going to embrace people, so they're going to do a lot of things. And I'm glad that we're the vehicle.
It is what it is. It's repeated history. And I used to like, wow, that's amazing. And they're going to be like, wow, this is amazing work, and inspires them to, write and find their voice. So whatever it is that they find, to keep moving forward and just keep the faith.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. It definitely helps keep us going, and these times are tough. So we need each other. And we got to be here for each other to help each other survive.
Well, yeah, my family helps me survive just by the faith and the connection and just the union that we have. So family is everything. And
Yeah.
I love my family, and I love
Aw.
my poetry friends and family and everybody that's watching. So thank you, and all of you, Josh and Janet, or the one with the haikus, and everyone, just magnificent, like almost perfect, just too perfect almost words that I've been hearing since I logged in.
Oh, beautiful. Big love. Hearts to everyone. Woo. Yeah, thank you, Rosa.
Okay, thank you.
So we're awesome. It's so great to meet you all too, and a lot of the groups like Chingonas Chisme and that I know if I heard that group. I haven't got to participate, but I'm like, yeah, I know y'all, the Cholas
Yes,
Chisme and
I
Chingonas group.
was one of their plays last year, so that's how I got to meet them.
Oh, cool. Oh, nice.
Like, yeah, CCC women, they're amazing. They are chingonas. They really are. So I mean, we're all chingonas,
Yep. Don't let anything slip by. You're just like,
For my non-speaking people, chingonas means like badass bitches. So you're all badass bitches. Whatever gender, we're all badasses,
Hey, right on, right on. All right. Big love to everyone.
Good night. Thank you. I'll be
Thank
here.
you, Rosa. Back at you. So our next guest we're going to bring up is Brenda Vaca. Let's see. I'm going to spotlight Brenda. Oh, there she is.
Hi, everybody. Congratulations, poets. It's hard to follow all these beautiful poets. So many powerful words. And congratulations, Los Angeles Poet Society Press, on your first publication. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your work. I can't wait to show everybody right now. Let's see. Let me bring it back up here.
Yeah, I hope you have it so I don't have to pull it up.
Yeah. No, I have it. Yep. Oh, yeah. And everybody, there's bios. Your bio. I remember I was asking you for your bios.
Page 47.
They're at the end.
I think the first one. Yep.
Yeah, 47. I think you have a few in here. Let me see. 47. I just want to kind of know what into the 136. Okay.
So just so everyone knows who I am, my name's Brenda Vaca, and I'm a poet that lives in South Whittier, California, deep East LA County, and have been writing quite a bit of poetry during this quarantine life, and just so much in the world that's happening. Poetry has been, I think, like our last poet mentioned, is medicine, right? And it's so healing. So I got to remember myself this last year as a poet. Should I go ahead, jump in? Awesome. So this one, I think what was the heaviest on my heart was just the ridiculousness of how we, compare color, and instead of I don't want to say celebrate, but like really like everything in creation is so beautiful, and this last year I think has really just brought that home to me. So I wrote this one after seeing just one too many Black brothers and sisters on the news pass in front of our eyes. Colorism. They lined us up according to the depth of our melanin. They put a value and a price tag on our skin, stacked us up against other comparable skin tones like houses. Is this a fixer-upper? Is this move-in ready? How strong are the bones of this house? Has the plumbing been replaced? Do you have a permit? You're this shade and you're that shade. You're cinnamon and you're dulce de leche. You are honeysuckle morning, morenita muy bonita, the steamy sweet spume at the top of a motherfucking coffee. Let's see what it tastes like when you add a dash of vanilla or nutmeg, tasty or tossed out. It all depends on taste buds of nasty marketeers ready to buy your blood with ducats. The economy is still strong, no? The truth is, butterflies come in all colors. The black ones outlined in gold are among my favorite. The inevitable brown body of a painted lady migrating in droves from the south, sheer beauty. The mighty monarchs multiplying in the milkweeds and flying among high rises in downtown LA take my breath away. You cannot, you will not destroy nature. It will rise, it will regenerate, it will overcome, and you will topple over like a badly built tower in Babel. Make your choice today. The self-hate you have inside, pluck it out. It is an insidious cancer. Beg forgiveness for each time you've turned away. I will do the same. Thank you. So this next one, I think we're going to pull up this world is on trial. And I actually started writing this one because the world's been crazy for a while. And I wrote this one as a prayer pre-pandemic. But then the editing process is always over time. And so you'll see that there has been changes because of just so much we've been seeing in our world. This world is on trial. Convict my mind. Convict my heart, O Holy One. This world is on trial. Every day we learn more deeply our human capacity to suffer. We can no longer mask our discontent. No longer can we stifle our groaning. There is a soul sickness we can't shake. We see our babies suffer in cages, at the butt of pistols, knees to neck. I can't breathe. 7 bullets in the back while she sleeps at the hands of a militarized police force. And catch me if you can bullets from semi-automatic weapons. Life, after all it's said and done, is fleeting. Massacre of the innocents before our very eyes. How can it be? How can it be that we have left this train to run its own course? We pack those containers on cargo ships with commodity packed by little fingers. Thank you. Across oceans and time, we commodify and traffic each other. Have mercy on us, Holy One. Forgive us for turning the other way for so long. Solomon says there is nothing new under the sun. What has changed, though, is the speed at which these horrors travel. The factory line processing of goods and services across these lands. We consume and consume and consume so much, extracting the very lifeblood from Tonantzin, more than our fill. We consume so much the vultures can't keep up. The most vulnerable among us displaced, do without clean food and water, often living among heaping stink piles of refuse. I refuse to admit this is how it's just the way it is. Should be, could, if only we would. Alas, the stuff of greed is tactile, has handles, tastes good, is luxurious and velvet to the touch, perfectly immersive, sensory overload, and it scares me a little to acknowledge how much I want and want and want, sinking into a foggy, misty moat off of the Blue Lagoon in Iceland. Our human capacity for greed, the way we monetize the suffering of others, has become catastrophic. It is a scary time we live in. Too much information downloaded and short-circuiting our feeble clay-like hearts, sending us under to get caught in tricky and sticky reeds. This is how we drown. If we keep turning away, it will be our undoing. Convict our mind, convict our heart, O Holy One. This world is on trial.
Wonderful. I love it. I love it. I know. Oh, and this is the other piece right here, right after there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate the time and the opportunity. And again, congratulations to all the poets. This one's called Curfew. LA County declares countywide curfew beginning at 6 p.m. tonight until 6 a.m. tomorrow. Virus? Nah. You're all essential employees. Black and brown family and the working class disproportionately impacted with this human virus they call COVID-19. Essential workers doing the work no one else wants to do, then killed like rabid animals. Your genocide is inhumane. Aberration before God and all that is holy. My spirit is disturbed. Have mercy on us, Holy One. Guard us, guide us. Rage bubbles to the surface. How can it not? We can't breathe. Broken windows, send the National Guard, then the tear gas comes when property is deemed more valuable than life. It's not, even though you have the insurance policy that says otherwise. Don't you remember, righteous men? Moth and rust destroy. Masks can barely guard against a virus. Your lungs are fragile too. Your respiratory system as fleeting as lilies. How will these masks protect against tear gas, rubber bullets, real bullets, batons, boots, knees? No PPE for our medical staff, none for our grocery workers, garment workers, get real, bus drivers, nah, Lyft drivers, menos. But did you see the riot gear on this legion of cops? Today is Pentecost. Tongues of fire light atop the heads of saints, unlikely revolutionaries. Gave them courage to face what they otherwise would fear, took their teachings to safe spaces when the heavy arm of the empire was too heavy to bear. The fire comes when it will. The spirit rises because we can't breathe.
Righteous, sis. Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you, Jessica. I'll go ahead and drop my info in the chat. You can find me on IG. I am Brenda Vaca.
Yeah.
Much love to you, poets. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you. Beautiful. Wow. And I just wanted to say, everyone, this is incredible. And, you know, the turnaround for this reading, I was like, we got to do this on MLK Day. We have to do this launch. And there's so many of you still on the list. So, hold tight if y'all or you want to do a stretch break. Y'all can do a little stretch break. 8:30, we've been here for a little bit. I'll do a little side to side here. But such incredible work. And I'm not trying to rush anyone, but I just did want to state that this is exciting that so many of y'all showed up really quick, and we're not even halfway through yet. So yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, you might want to do a little stretching, everybody. But also get your refill, get your drink, get your munchie. If you have any time constraints, please direct message me so that I can, modify as needed. But this is the order. I'll just say out loud here. So next up, we're going to have Gatoska, and then we have Valerie, Yvette Peterson, Marsha, Pesci, VK Lynn Bronstein, Don Kingfisher Campbell, Michelle Smith, and then another round of 10 folks after that. So, it's going to be a good one. This is going to be one of those marathons. But I'll try to not talk so much and then just kind of just let people keep going. But definitely keep your information in the chat. I'll make that, I'll send that document to everybody so that you can stay connected and you don't miss anything. a lot of people are giving props to your words too, so you want to catch all that. All right, so next we're gonna have Gatoska. I'm really super stoked. I have nothing but mad love for this gal. She really is such an amazing poet. Yeah, hi Gato. Yeah, it's our front page.
Thank you, and
There
good
we
to see
go.
everybody. Okay, so I wrote this piece because I was, I don't know, I feel like I've just been fairly frustrated with just like, you know, everything that's just been going on in the continued killing of Black folks by the police, and then just all the other injustices that just like they continue to keep happening. And I feel like sometimes I'm just writing like the same poem over and over again. So this kind of addresses that. It's called I Don't Want to Write Another Poem. And just as a content warning, there's police, state, patriarchal, and trans misogynist violence in it. Okay. I don't want to write another poem about how I hate America, or how I want prisons to burn, or how border walls haunt my nightmares. Nightmares where children die in cages. I don't want to write another poem about how we are drilling the earth dry, or about the Texas-sized island of microscopic plastic particles, or how corporations want to mine the ocean floor for the metals we need to keep our cell phones flowing. I don't want to write another poem about how the cops shot a 27-year-old Black man in West Philly yesterday. I don't want to write another poem about a trans woman stabbed by her lover, then burned in her apartment. I don't want to write another poem about how I'm angry at white women, including my white mother, for whether I'm not racist, but I voted for Trump, or I'm not racist, but don't you dare date a Black man. I don't want to write another poem about how filling in circles in a ballot with a blue or black pen won't, with a blue or black pen won't change the status quo, or how scary it is to fight for liberation out in these police-infested streets, where they have guns, both beanbag and bullet, where they have raids and handcuffs and jails, where they can keep you for life. I don't want to write another poem about conservatives and Nazis or liberals and do-gooders and their selfies with pink pussy hats that say Black Lives Matter. I'm tired of roses not blooming and forests burning and unhealthy air quality giving me headaches. I'm light-skinned, raised by my white mother. I fit into the hierarchies I'm trying to dismantling myself strand by strand. I'm tired of men calling me exotic or thinking I'm beautiful because I'm biracial, because that's some racist shit steeped in the patriarchy. I don't want to write another poem about how the man on the bus, the train, the park, the bar made me uncomfortable by his look, his touch, his words. I'm tired of America, its colonial government, tired of assimilation, tired of standing at the edge, hoping everyone will see the bridge. I'm tired of people saying, but we need the police, because they can't imagine a world where we take care of each other. I don't want to write another poem about how angry I am, how I wake up each day tasting ash in my throat because it's another day in America, and how many more days in America until my friend's name is a hashtag. And I refuse to live in that future. I'm not one of those new age hippies who buy singing bowls on Amazon, but I do believe we're connected. And I won't stop writing until we're all free. Thank you. Thank you everyone for this space. Thank you everyone for sharing your poetry. It's all been powerful, so thank you. And that's all I got for tonight. And then Jessica, if you want to break from hosting, I can help you host. Just let me know, okay?
Oh yeah, all right, that sounds good. Okay,
yeah.
I'll message you.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. Yeah, big love to Gatoska. And sorry about, again, the typing about me. I'm trying to, I'll make sure to get better. I appreciate Juan, and Juan's got my back to put me on mute. I appreciate that. All right, next up, we have Valerie Yvette Peterson. All right, Valerie.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Thank you, Jessica.
Spotlight you. You're welcome. Let me bring up your poem. Here we go.
And okay, great. I'm going to read it from my phone here. But I appreciate this opportunity. I think it's absolutely profound. I'm a playwright and a poet here in Portland, Oregon. I've been doing this work for about 30 years. And so this is all just part of the work that I've been doing for many years, where I write plays and I connect with the community in ways that are liberating, or ways to discuss disenfranchisement and how we can come out of that. And so for this opportunity, Jessica, I was very excited because I thought about everything that took place following George Floyd. I thought about Bob and Jean. I thought about Philando Castillo. I thought about Ahmaud Arbery. I thought about Eric Garner. I thought about Freddie Gray. So I went back further and further and further. And as I thought about all of these different videotaped murders that we have a chance to see, I went back even further and thought about 1955 with Emmett Till, when we didn't get a chance to see it on videotape, and how his mother may have felt. And that was why we were able to see what we saw in the casket, because she wanted that to be seen. So I took this much further back, and the poem that I wrote is more in response to what the mothers may have felt, what the wives may have felt, what the sisters, the daughters, the sons may have felt when their father or brother or uncle or whomever is no longer with them. So that was really the approach I took. I've written several since that time, but this is the one that I really chose. So I'll just read this. And the title of this particular poem is Inside My Skin. And I wrote this thinking about those itches that we get from time to time, where you get an itch and you just can't seem to relieve it. You're scratching and scratching and scratching, and it's just like it's inside of you and you can't get to it. So that was pretty much the thought of the poem as far as the title, something that is always there. It's something that's just irritating you to the core, and you just can't seem to grasp it, and it's just constantly there, an irritant. And I read Inside My Skin. I wake up glaring at the sun-kissed shadow on my bedroom wall of the life ahead of me. There goes again that faint yet hollow-sounding thud in my chest. Needing you. Wanting, longing. I roll over in my bed effortlessly, trying to take this pain away from the monotonous chaos that's in my mind of you not being here this day. The last night you came into my soul, into my spirit, into my body, into my mind. You told me at first that you would not stay long. The exciting joy you bring will not last and will never remain. The fade, but you assured me that your memory will forever live on in my mind, in my body. Longing and wishing for you, you guaranteed me that no matter where I was, no matter who I was, no matter what I would become, that you always defined my existence, and you promised that as long as I needed you, I would find a way to be with you. And my muse in writing this was my brother, and I thought a lot about my brother. I have all three daughters, 28 years old, 17, and 15. And I have a brother, and I thought about things that he has shared with me over the years, really recently, and what would happen, what would his wife feel, what would he feel as he walks out the door every morning. It's almost like, as the gentleman mentioned earlier, Josh, I think the day that the death buds blossom, my brother feels those things every single day. You know, is this his time? Is this his day? So that was really the motivation behind Inside My Skin.
Thank you so much, Valerie. Yes, and I think it's so important to tell these truths, because it's a fear that you wake up with every day just because of who you are, and it's horrible for people to live in that reality, and that's why we're here together, rising up, helping to change that narrative, and um, share truth and be seen.
It's wonderful.
Thank you, Valerie.
Thank you, Jessica.
Snap. All right. Next, we're going to bring up Marcia Pesci. I hope I'm saying your last name. I'm sorry if I'm saying your last name wrong. But Marcia is up next.
Hi, thank you, Jessica. I just want to make sure that you can hear me.
Yes, so we can hear you.
Okay. So I'm Marsha Pesci, and I'm a movement artist, writer, and educator based in South Africa at the moment. And I'm gonna just speak briefly to the written work, and then I'll go on to the image that's been included. So with the written piece, I wanted to think about what justice means to me, and it means sharing people's individual stories that makes the experience of getting to know someone more intimate and more urgent. And I'm interested in how we have social and cultural influences that affect how we navigate the world, especially for women of color who are working class. And so I'll begin by reading the piece. It is my duty to accept his punishment. He has chosen to forgive me for not keeping the house in order. If he does not beat me, I will not be forgiven. My father says if he has paid for you, your parents have been compensated for the beating. It is your duty to forgive your husband as God has forgiven him. A violent man is a test of your faith. And even if you're beaten, do not complain, because your parents have already been paid for the broken glass. Then I'll speak to the image that's been included. So as a child, when I was growing up, women who worked as housekeepers were referred to as girls. And this word always bothered me because it was a way of infantilizing Black women. And it, to this day in South Africa, it is still a word that is used. And so you will see in the image that the performer, she performed the piece that I just spoke. And I believe that the body and mind interact with each other, and that the body remembers negative experiences. And this is why I work with performance art, because it makes those experiences really immediate and urgent for people that are watching. So I created the scene as a site of violence, but the woman's body is also a site of violence. And while she speaks this piece, she is trying to do so with the shoe balanced on her head without letting it fall down. And that is, a lot of that is about the physical and emotional labor that Black working class women often have to perform. And I must mention that the photographer is Paulo Menezes. He's a photographer based in South Africa. And at the time that I was doing this work in 2013, he was following a lot of people in theater and documenting the work that we were doing. And so I have him to thank for the images that I have and that I'm able to share this with you. And so I want to thank Jessica and Caro for giving me the opportunity to share my work in this publication. And thank you as well to all the other artists who've presented.
Thank you so much, Marcia. And oh my goodness, it's such an honor to have you here with us again with the LA Poet Society. I know you've been a feature on our programming before. And thank you for the monologue, but also just the extra explanation you gave us, and also the set that you created that's in this photo, and it just all like has even more meaning and resonates even deeper now. I appreciate that. Thank you for joining us tonight. And what time is it over there? It's 8:48 p.m. in California.
It is 6:48 a.m. Tuesday morning.
Oh, you're in the future for yeah, Thanks. Oh, wow. Wonderful. So it's an early morning. Okay, so you were an early bird to hang out with us today, this morning. Thank you so much. It's an honor. I'm so happy to include you. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you. All right, so our next contributor, our next family, I always call when we're all a part of a book or an anthology, a collection, we're brothers and sisters. So I usually say my book brother, my book sister. So the next person is a book sister, one of my book sisters, or our book sisters, VK Lynn. So let's get VK Lynn. Let me find you.
I think it's page 201, Jessica.
Oh, thank you so much for that. Oh, right. I'll scroll on down. Whoop, going the wrong way. 201. Yep, this is about 258 pages of goodness here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is, okay, got it. Thank you so much. Let me find your video. Where are you?
I'm here.
There you are. Yay! Okay, perfect.
Okay, great.
I'm ready. All right.
All right, so I am a heavy metal musician and poet, which doesn't sound like it goes together, but it actually kind of does sometimes. And I wrote this in response to actually grabbing lunch with a good friend of mine, and we were getting really dirty looks during lunch, and we couldn't figure out why. And so I wrote a poem, and it's called Lines. I straddled the thick, black, inky line of acceptance, and it crept up my arms, tracing the beautiful patterns of my spirit, then pushed me over itself. You see, I have tattoos. You might have missed them. But on the street, in the store, at the church, praise God, they are almost never missed. By people who do not have them. By people who live safely on the fresh, blank, white side of the line that I recklessly leaped. Yes, leaped. Because if I'm honest, I knew that I would end up in the no man's land between white and black. That place where I am disdained by choice. And that makes me think about what I've learned from these murals that I've placed on my physical walls. I see myself eating hamburgers with my African-American friend, and I see the wary looks we get. At first, it's hard to tell whether the side eye is because of my tattoos or because I'm a white woman with a black man. And then I see them turn their gaze to him. And I know it's not about ink. But I chose this. I see myself at a fancy cocktail party where people take elaborately long routes around an elaborately small bar to avoid contact with me, as if their skin will be stained by contact with mine. It is about ink. But I chose this. It's a different kind of fear. Yes, fear that I face because I wasn't born in this multicolored skin. I chose this. Yet somehow I'm more acceptable to them than a monochromatic ethnic person with no epidermic agency. They ask me if it all means something, and I say yes, my soul's illustration is held in faith, hope, and love, but they never ask my black friend beside me if his skin means something, because the answer in that moment, marginalization, prejudice, and hate, isn't nice small talk. The skin you are never asked to defend means less to you than the skin that you never asked to wear. But I chose this. Now when my friend and I lock eyes in these moments, we know that despite how we got it, our skin means many of the same things to us. It means identity, it means pride, it means strength, and the lines are drawn.
I love it. I love it. I love this because you are aware and you're talking about it, the lines, and that you're sticking up for your friends. And there's a few folks and a few poems in here where, we're sticking up for our brown friends. We're sticking up for our black friends. We're like, hey, this is for you. I'm going to speak out for you because I want equality. I want to see justice for people that look like you. And VK, I love that you wrote this. I love that you come from rock and roll and that you have, and your style, and to also to have you included in this collection.
It's a very interesting experience because I was instantly enraged for him and wanted to go fight. And for him, it was just another day. And that I really had to come home and like think about that for him, this was just another day. And for me, I was ready to like throw down. So it just the idea that like I made this choice to look this way, you know, but he didn't. And so it really hit me. And I had to write something down about it. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to share it.
Yeah, it's so powerful, and it's so healing. It's healing to hear from white folks. You know, it's healing to hear the connections and just the love that you've always had. You know, there's people like white folks that always they've always been brothers and sisters to black and brown, to everybody. You know, and you know that, you know, it's so great to hear these stories and to hear the, you know, that partnership, you know, that this is my friend, you know, why are you tripping on my friend? I'm the one that has like all these, you know, I have the wild hair, the tattoos, or what, you know. I think this is a great and the anecdote about I chose this, you know, that's so powerful too. So I'm so happy that you wrote this, and for your friend Nesto, sticking up for him, and just being a part of this journey to rise up together.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Snaps. All right, let's see. Our next contributor, our next book sister is Lynn Bronstein. All right, Lynn. Let me bring up your poem. Yeah, I remembered your title. It rhymes. Let me find you, Lynn. Where are you at? There you are. This is cool. I can spotlight folks. I'm getting better at this zooming stuff. A little bit better. Lynn Bronstein.
Thank you, Jessica, for doing this book. I am very honored and humbled to be in it and to be with the people whose voices I've heard tonight. Now, this poem may start out sounding like it's coming from a very different place than the subject matter of this book. I hope that you will see the direction that it's going in, because we all have these different narratives, and I write a great deal about my Jewish identity and trying to get people to understand a narrative that has been distorted and is controversial to a lot of people. And Goldene Medina actually means in Yiddish golden land. It was the name that Jewish immigrants were calling the United States when they came here. Not that they all, I think, literally thought that it was gold streets, but it was a place that they hoped would be better. And so I start out by talking about this concept of the Goldene Medina that people came to. But I go on to describe the analogy between different groups of people who have been oppressed, and why the different narratives, like different roads, have to come together at a central point where people have to stand with each other. I say this poem is dedicated to the Black Americans tragically lost to bigotry, and to the many Jewish allies who have given their energies to the civil rights movement. My people came here to escape the pogroms. The long fingers craving their death didn't reach to this shore. We didn't have the book on what we'd find. We promised the Goldene Medina, the golden land. That land for us, for many years, was push carts and hiring quotas. Working on Saturdays, on Shabbos, against our will, locked exits in the factories, no room at the fancy hotels, changing our names and our faces. Still, we climbed upwards. We knew we'd left behind the fate our mishpucha met with, the wires, the chambers that choked them. We could rejoice while always mourning and saying, it could have been us. In time, we learned of people living in this country who'd lived here for a much longer time than us, and yet for them, every day brought fear of a pogrom. Those terrors are continuing for them to this day. Some of us thought, yes, we know how that feels. Many of us acted on it, marched, spoke out, read books, voted, pledged our support. There was, however, an ugly elephant in the room, a thought that no one dared voice. The haters would be going after us if there weren't others they could target. It could have been us. It's time to say there are no stand-ins anymore. We can't move to our left or right and hope someone else takes the bullet. No, we don't want to die, but no one else should have to die. They are not our shields. We can be their shields. We can stand on this line together. We can stand on this line together and face the craven ones. This is America, the golden land, the land and life we have all earned. There is no more they, and we don't kill us.
Yes. Thank you, Lynn. And thank you for being that bridge too between the different cultures and just different, just to say, hey, we have had struggle too, Jewish folks have had struggle too. And there's a lot of commonalities between struggles that people, lots of people of color face as well. But I appreciate this poem, and I'm glad, and that's the document for the people is from all the people, and that's, I think, the beauty of this book, this call, because, it's from everybody in, all walks of life from around the globe, people that want to comment on, as a fellow human in this time and space, on what's happening right now, so I think this is so important, and we're hearing, and seeing allies, we're seeing each other, some of us for the first time, like really physically seeing each other. And I think this is so important. And thank you for your words and being a part of this book.
You're welcome, Jessica.
Yeah. Big love, big love, big love. So I'm going to be sharing the hosting with Gato. So Gato is going to be, I think what I'll do is I'll find find you on the document. She will be hosting and introducing folks. And again, I want to just thank everyone for being here. So the lineup we have, that was Lynn Bronstein. We are halfway. We're probably a little over halfway through. So big snaps. We probably will take it to 10 o'clock. I think perhaps we can fit till 10, maybe, But we have coming up next, we have Don Campbell, Michelle Smith, Sandy Cornejo, Ideas Aubrey, Rosalilia Mendoza, Juan Cardenas, and another handful after that. So hang tight. If you have any time restraints, again, please message me. And I'm going to pass it over to Caro. And
yeah, did you want me to screen share too, or are you gonna keep screen sharing?
I can find them. What's easier? Is it easier for you to screen share?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind screen sharing. I just yeah, I can screen share, and then I can just host, so that way you don't have to do so much.
Okay. Here I'll put the rest of the lineup in the chat.
Okay.
But I know
have
you
the
have
lineup saved. So.
Okay. So here, I think you're already our host. Oh, perfect. You got it. She's on it.
Yeah. So up next we have Don Kingfisher Campbell.
Semi-automatic suicide. When my best friend lived next to Lancaster, we would ride to the Walmart so we could go order a bag of $1 cheeseburgers from McDonald's, eat them at a table, talk about the economy. We never got pulled over on the way, maybe because I was the driver. Friday night, 2 men walked down Avenue A4 to 30th Street. West, a residential area with a Hellenic center on the corner, a great place to celebrate your day. They get stopped by gang unit plainclothes. Words are exchanged. One of them whips out an assault pistol from his jacket. That was all it took to start a firing squad of detectives. His buddy ran away in the hubbub. Detectives pick up the gun from the lying body, establish a perimeter to catch a friend scared for his life. I made a phone call to Marvin to give him the news. Heard him say he's staying inside tonight.
Ooh. Yep, that was powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, that was intense. Did you? I think you have another one. Would you like to share this one as well?
Yeah, it's related.
Yeah. Oh, okay, perfect.
You can tell from the title, Marvin Dorsey Matters. He read earlier tonight. I think he's still around. He told me on the phone he's staying in today, every day. He only goes to work and comes back home. No stops. Because he fears what the police might do if he's stopped. He doesn't march because someone might rubber bullet his neck. So what does he do? He calls friends and emotes poetry. He asks, why can't all his white friends say something? Even a post on Facebook or Instagram would do. But they are silent. Everyone should know silence is violence. I speak up for Marvin, one of my best friends, forever.
Oh, wow, that's such an important line. That everyone should know silence is violence, and I know that's something that MLK said as well. So thank you for sharing that, because that's really that's really relevant and very real, and a really good reminder that, like, yes, we can't be silent about whenever we see injustice. It's really important that we absolutely speak up. Thank you for sharing that so much. You have another. Oh wait. Do you have another piece, or was that just the two?
I think it was just the two.
Just the two? Okay.
Just the two.
Yeah, the other results would be the bio and the TOC. So that's probably what happened there.
Cool. Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing those, and then feel free to drop any of your how we can connect with you in the chat. And then so up next, we have Michelle Smith, who's actually in one of my poetry classes with me. So I'm excited for that. Let me pull up her work, and I think she's got quite a few pieces in here. And then, okay, did you want to start off with this one, Michelle? Or let me see what, if you're ready.
I think too, if there's folks that have more than two pieces, let's cap it at 2 to 3, just because there's still quite a few folks. But I think Michelle has some photographs as well as the poem. But there might be some other folks that might have 5. So I'm just saying, let's just pick your 2 to 3 that you would like to share from the book.
First of all, I'd like to say good evening, everybody. And thank you for this opportunity, Jessica, and Los Angeles Poet Society. And in honor of Martin Luther King Jr., the fact that in 2 days from now, we're going to have an MVP, not just a most valuable player, but a Madam Vice President. I don't know what Dr. MLK will say now about that if he were alive, as well as his wife. So I'm honored to be here for this holiday weekend, and I'm glad to be part of this group. And thank you for choosing my poetry, Jessica, and Los Angeles Poet Society. Truly, it is a blessing and honor, and it is appreciated. And I'm glad that Carol Scott and Karen Grass, I hope I'm saying her name right, are here with me as well. Thank you. I'm going to read the poem called Where the Flowers That Bloom. However, I don't have a copy with me, so I hope it can be screen shared. I can read it from that way. Now, how can I do that without me being on here? I would take my face off and just read it. How would that work?
Yeah, can you see the screen? Can everyone see the screen? Because I'm sharing that poem right now.
Thank you. So do I go off on that? Do I?
Are you able to see the screen on your phone? Gato is screen sharing. Otherwise, I mean, if it helps for you to turn your camera off, you'll still be with us on the Zoom, if that helps you.
Okay, like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's off. So I can, I'll be glad to read that. I don't see it though. Let's see. Okay. Let me try that. Thank you.
If you're on your phone, I think if you keep swiping right, eventually you might get to the screen share.
Okay.
Swipe right or left.
Thank
All
you.
the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, this poem is called Where the Flowers That Bloom. And you see the name for Chris. Chris is my autistic son, and it is with him in mind that I wrote this poem. And this is my feelings about this after seeing George Floyd's demise on TV. And we all saw that. It's quite sad. Where the flowers that bloom. Where the flowers that bloom behind the gate, planted firmly. There should be no sorrow. At night, they will close and open again tomorrow. Incredible, they're brighter, bountiful, and beautiful to share in the morning glory of God's care. Not to be divided and conquered, equal opportunity for the shrub, as in Genesis, the beginning of God's love. And this is America, not all of sovereignty, the home of the brave, and certainly not the free. These flowers came from the ancestors of Africa, grown in a new and strange land, chained and beaten. Slavery, bravery, gravely, America is now their home. 401 years from 1619 to 2020. Many of our sons were not born in April 1992. The 28-year-old Ronnie King riot and revolt. Mine was nearly 6 years old. Injustice continues, and the blooms are forlorn. To tell you about Medgar, Malcolm, and Martin is not enough. It's not enough. Protect yourself if someone bothers you, we are told. But you are not able to, for he may wear a badge and the colors of black and blue. In the color of authority, those flowers no longer grow and gleam in the morning glory. Another statistic, another story. The shrub is my son, the bud is my son, and so are countless others. Someone's uncle, cousin, friend, neighbor, father, or brother. He is not a criminal, but in this country, in like Ralph Ellison's book, he is treated as invisible. Where does a flower now grow? Where can it thrive? Did you know that the flower is autistic and stereotyped? He has a hidden disability and a gentle giant to be described. The flower grows and reaches to a new height. I don't want to be a mother, crying tears to heaven for the rest of my life, wondering who plucked my flower and allowed him to die. Genesis is the beginning. God loves all. Protect my son, my flower, my God.
Wow, that was an amazing piece. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Michelle. That's yeah, that's really powerful and definitely something that we need to hear. So thank you so much, Michelle, for sharing your story with and about your son. Go ahead.
Yes, you're very welcome, because as you all know, if you don't know, autism is a hidden disability. Unlike cerebral palsy, a person who is visually challenged with a cane, a person that may have Down syndrome, a person in a wheelchair, those are all visual, right? You can see those with the naked eye. However, with autism, at least you know the person individually, you don't know what he or she can be in regards to how his or her behaviors are, because they don't look as if they have a disability, and it's hidden. And I thank you, Carol, for saying that, because unfortunately, it's true. And many people in this world who have children, sons or daughters or loved ones, are going to need to be more vigilant and diligent in their children in regard to the future, because you don't know. And hearing about George Floyd's hearing and seeing that, you know, George Floyd had many mothers on that day. It was horrible what happened to him. It was inexcusable and unfair. However, we know how this country is, and In 2 days, hopefully this country will be on its way to healing and growing. And thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're welcome. I have one more to read because I want to count for time. It's
Which
called
one would you like to read?
Nana's Heart.
Nana's Heart?
Yes.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. This poem is called Nana's Heart. This is in tribute to my grandmothers in heaven, my mother in heaven, and all the beautiful women who raised their children as grandmothers, as aunts and uncles who raised their children who are not theirs biologically, however, were loved. Nana's Heart. Shiny, sterling silver, sparkly and cool to the touch. Inside, soft red velvet, a Julia box reminds me of Nana's heart. No music, no jewelry, nor an empty find. Memories open of childhood past and love for our matriarch, beautiful teacher, disciplinarian, and so kind. Stored up like heaven's treasure. As a little girl, our days spent together were collected in a jar as the fireflies, and the nights glowed like moonbeams. Imaginary sand flows freely from my hands. My yesterday is gone in a flash. All grown up, too old.
You should put it in the pantry.
My memories sustain me and remind me of way back when the world grows cold. These crown jewels of moments have me captured forever in time. And I have one more. The conclusion, the poem is called Profanity.
Okay. Yeah. One more. Okay.
So that I want to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I want to count for time, and I know time. And unfortunately, this is like me. Anyway, I'll say unfortunately, words are words, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. This is profanity. Can you cuss like a sailor? Are your words sharp as a razor? And do the sting like a bee or a gun of taser? Profanity, a word sandwich, thickly layered, popping like hot flaming Cheetos in your mouth. Full of flavor, maybe unwavered, and a habit unsavored. Profanity, profanity, excessive or expressive, but full of labor. And by the way, I am not a spring chicken, but I am a wise hen. Thank you.
Oh, I love that quote. Thank you so much for sharing that, Michelle. All those pieces were really great. I really appreciated all of them. Thank you.
Fun. Thank you, everybody. I truly appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay. So up next, we're gonna have Peacock Secrets sharing their work. Do you know which poem you would like to share first?
Yes, I want to start with I'm washing my hands.
Okay, perfect. Let me bring that up on the screen.
I also have a copy, so that should help.
Okay,
Oh,
here we go. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. I wanted to, well, first, I'm Peacock Secrets. You can find me online at Peacock Secrets Poetry on Instagram and YouTube, and a little bit on Twitter. The crazy thing about this poem is I wrote it before the murder of George Floyd. There's a line or two in it that refer to Eric Garner. In fact, I wrote it before the murder of, before we found out about the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. And so I had to add lines to it, and even lines for New York. So what I would like to do is, pause before every line that, I'd like to pause before every line that I had to add in there. If you get what I mean, because I think it's a tragedy that a poem about tragedy can't rest and always has to be changed because of more tragedy. And I'm going to read it from my own screen if you don't mind. Okay. I'm washing my hands. Y'all, I'm really washing my hands. I can't stop washing my hands. Cleaning with clear tears captured from kids in cages. I'm washing my hands. Hands that held the blood of Trayvon, Gray, Edwards, Scott, Sterling, Castile, and Bland. The blood of Ahmaud Arbery. Moment of silence while I'm washing my hands. Hands maroon and black with the blood of Black bodies hanging from strange trees, trees with names like officer, sheriff, and PD. And if a Black boy's missing his mask, these NYPD thugs in blue begin assault and battery. Yeah, I'm washing my hands, but can you believe with COVID-19, I can't seem to wash my hands clean. I mean, I can't even breathe. I can't breathe, New York. I can't breathe. I can't breathe, Minnesota. I can't breathe. So you better run, but if someone run, there'll be a policeman's gun pointed at a Black back. So I'm washing my hands. I'm washing my hands, a very racist, prejudiced thing I said regarding this land's first, last, and only first Black president and first lady. But before I can purify my palms, I gotta get my caustic lye soap back from the eagle feather people, ever since I stuck it betwixt their children's lips for daring to speak their native tongues. U.S. Child Services is still stealing their daughters and sons. Now I need back that lye soap. They better give me back my lies soap if they wanna see their young. My genocidal war is already won. So now I'm washing my hands, still scouring my skin 27 seconds in, trying to banish a virus that wouldn't be banned by my Muslim ban, that couldn't be blocked by my African ban, that scaled the walls of my southern border ban. Don't you ban me from washing my hands of homelessness, unemployment, poverty, food scarcity, and mismanaging COVID-19. There were over 10,000 cars in San Antonio in line needing food for free. But don't fret, I said I would help as soon as Congress ceases a recession so I can wash my hands. Wouldn't touch a finger to national health care. I wouldn't touch a thumb to a living wage neither. I wash my hands of either. Washing my hands both nationally and internationally. Didn't you see me on TV? Washing my hands to get the holy bleep out of my bleep, holy country. Washing my hands worldwide, sanitizing my skin of Syrian women, children, and senior citizens who begged me to welcome them back when I was too busy manicuring. This time I'ma wash my hands of the trash I sent to poor nations claiming, yay, American children, we're reducing, reusing, and recycling. Nah, I'm recycling neocolonialism, making nations take trash for debt relief. I'm washing my hands. See, I got told to leave in peace by the president of Iraq after I used his land to kill the man from Iran. Their people protested in the streets, but my military still won't leave. Behold, I brought them democracy as bold as the Arab blood on my Israeli sheets. I'm washing my hands because I can't touch my face to shade my shame from visions of Abu Ghraib prison, hooded and jolting in my mind. I ain't got time. I'm too busy washing my hands. So quit saying what they say about the 30 faceless names out in Guantanamo Bay. Yeah, I put them in there with real terrorists, even though I know they're innocent, but hey. They were never arrested. They were only detained. 18 years. Some say they ain't even been arraigned. They ain't got no rights. They can't complain. I just got to wash that Gitmo name from distracted American brains. Yeah, I'm washing my hands. See, all Americans agree. This is America. Don't catch you slipping, the land of the free, leader of the free world. Not my fault if the world's free folk felt the world I lead would feel free. America, America, and the great again part of America is me, me. I'm washing my hands. See, Americans make up 5% of the world population, and see, American prisoners make up 25% of the world prison population. You see, my 2.3 million prisoners exceed the general population of 90 nations. That's a fact. That's a stat. Throwback to Japanese Americans trapped in concentration camps. That's why I'm steady washing and wiping my hands, sipping and dripping my alcohol so as to sanitize my feet after standing on the necks of so many, so plenty, and still I'm washing my hands all day with the scrubber, and the squeegee, all week with the soap and the sanitizer, all month with the peroxide, Purell, Pine Sol, alcohol, all year with the bleach. So why won't my hands come clean?
Ooh. Snaps. That was amazing. That was so powerful, and like there was you covered so many different topics, and like mic drop. Like if we were that was amazing. Total fire, getting a lot of love in the chat. Yeah, what what other poem would you like to share?
I think it's page 198. Uh-oh, lost track of my own stuff. I think it's called Stripes and Stars.
Okay. Cool.
I'm not mad at this flag. I'm not sad at my map. I'm not livid at legends and lines. I'm not angry at stars and stripes. But I'm certainly hurt. See, I get targeted by not those, but by people. Some white, some brown, some white, who directly and indirectly direct shade at my light. People taught to hate my self-worth before it became self-evident, even to me. Taught jealousy of the mighty oak still asleep in its seed. Taught to feel needy even after they've overfilled their greed. Taught to steal whatever and whomever they want, even after we've agreed. Tell me, why lay waste to foundations that fathered humanity's nations? What tree succeeds by strangling its deepest roots, its darkest leaves? Why can't y'all post pillars while we build walls? How about we babble brooks while y'all till soils? Who bewitched you into being a crab? A beautiful blue planet reduced to your crude barrel. Allah Almighty already described each creature's decree. There's more than we'd ever need for all of you and all of me. So stop trying to take what's mine. My bounteous rights were bestowed by the giver, the equitable, the great. And only what he could create, only he could take. That land and this water, these trees, our freedom, our liberty, our peace, and many more than these, preemptively pre-decreed for each and every earthly being. So no, I don't feel fragile when I perceive humanity's brown, beige, and black seeds like that Nigella sativa. No, I don't see the need for hatred, jealousy, and greed, so much sadness and madness. Hence, I'm not mad at my flag. I'm not sad at my map. Not livid with legends and lines, not angry at stars and stripes, but I'm certainly hurt. See, I get targeted by not those, but by people. Some white, some brown, some white, who indirectly and directly direct shade at my light.
Ooh, snaps. That was deep. Wow, both of your poems are so powerful. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Did you want to read one more?
No, thank you. I know
Okay.
I'm short, and I appreciate everything, and I love everyone's work. It's been beautiful and sad, and I've had to even take moments to walk away because I feel it, so deeply. And
yeah, your reading was really beautiful. Your voice was super powerful, and like that first poem was just fire. Like, so thank you so much for sharing your pieces with us tonight and being in the anthology. Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, and then feel free to share all your contact information if you'd like in the chat, because I know people are definitely going to want to follow you. So, okay, up next, we're actually going to highlight our cover artist. And I actually don't know, I'm not sure who the cover artist is. So Jessica?
I got her. I just put the spotlight on her. Just props to you, Gato. Thank you so much for being the other balance beam of this book. But right now I just want to highlight and acknowledge, and you're being on the spotlight right now. This is Sophie Len. She is a contributor to this anthology, and her photograph, Stolen Land, is the cover for this book. So I just want to take a minute to screen share. Again, this is the cover. Los Angeles Poets for Justice, a document for the people. This is her photograph. She does have a few other pieces in the book as well. I wanted to show. I just wanted to make sure to give her some love. She's here tonight.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to share this space with you guys, and I love hearing all your work, and I'm happy that this group exists, that we can all come together, because it's important, you know, and everything with like the cover photo, I took that at the Black Lives Matter protest that happened in during the summer, and I got to see people come together and, you know, fight for what's right. And I'm just grateful that, you know, for the Black Lives Matter movement, because by, you know, bringing forth their voice, they're also uplifting those groups. And I think they're owed that respect, because without them, their lives would not be shown to light. And I feel like it's important. And I like to think that through all this tragedy, we're coming together and making the world a better place. And I'm happy that, again, that we get to share this space with each other.
Thank you so much, Sophie, and it just thank you for your contribution. I did catch that we misspelled your name. I'll update that before we print the physical copy. But I just thank you for your eye, for capturing this as it happened in like immediate response. I think documenting these immediate responses is so important. Our reactions, but what people did during this time. That's why this is a document for the people. This is a collection of an uprising and a response of murder by the system that we thought was supposed to be on our side, or at least try their best to be. And, you know, it's totally failed. So this is definitely uprising, and thank you. They're just so powerful, and I'm just really, really honored that you sent these to us. And they're very strong, very strong.
Thank you, and thank you for uplifting voices as well. So thank you.
Thank you. So yes, this is our cover artist, an amazing photographer, and I did also, I had mentioned it earlier, but you know, we have there's a bio section in the back of this book, and so that way, you know, any information that folks gave, you know, offered up of themselves is there, but also ways to keep in touch. Some folks put their Instagrams, they put their websites, so you know, this is also a way to keep connected. Thank you so much. I'm gonna give it back over to Gatoska. I'm gonna stop sharing here. And again, thank you everyone for hanging out tonight, for hanging in there and joining. That we still have a lot of folks here that's being a part of this celebration. That's as an audience that's listening. I want to also say hi to our YouTube buddies out there that are hanging out. And just that I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. All right, Gato, it's all yours.
Okay, cool. So up next, we have Sandy Cornejo. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share your poem. And then whenever you're ready, the mic is yours.
Mic check, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I have it off the page, so I added a few lines. So here we go. Tonight, I couldn't sleep. The riots started. It's 2020 and the world woke up. My son found out he was a wrong color and cried. I don't want them to shoot me, Mama. At that moment, I broke. I broke like the hearts of so many who faced violence at the hands of racists. I broke like the last blood vessel before a Black man leaves this earth, a Black woman leaves this earth, a Mexican teenager leaves this earth, a Mexican young soldier serving her country gets murdered and betrayed by her flag and then leaves this earth. I could go on, but I'd run out of paper before the hashtags expire. Can anybody tell me why? That's a crossroads we are tired of crossing. What can we do to keep our people from showing up on that list? Such a long list. For brown and Black people list. Can we cancel that list? And yet I keep breaking like the hearts of mothers who have Black and brown men and ask themselves if this grocery list will be the last thing they tell their young kid. I keep breaking like the windows on Black churches after good old white Americans drive by in pickup trucks. They seem to be in agreement that taking lives of non-Caucasians equals a slap on the wrist. And if you don't agree with them, then tell me why they buy these white boys burgers on their way to get pretend charges, bailed out and on time to attend a Klan barbecue on Wednesdays. I've never seen such a thing, or was it that Burger King was in on the whole scheme? I break like the police system we have in place. Oh, wait. My bad, that system was never broke. It was strategically designed this way, designed to break us, separate us, beat us, confuse us. We gotta unify us. Remembering the moment where they woke up my son turns all the rage into pain in my belly. All I wanted was for these truths to be sold as fiction in the clearance section. But it was these truths that taught my son his skin color is a threat, and that is self-evident and self-damaging to a little boy who thought his smile was never menacing. Here is my firstborn, a miracle baby, really. The only child a malfunctioning ovary allowed me. He was born to a Mexican mother, a biracial father. Guess that makes him extra triracial in a land where Caucasian is just so essential. On that day, my triracial son found out that 2 of the races in his blood can definitely get him shot. Shot on purpose, shot without questioning, hesitating, or contacting me. Oh, and the last race you asked, well, you see, it cancels out because 2 minus 400 years of slavery equal a mulatto who has 0 rights in front of any pilgrim's gun. After all, brown plus black plus white is still the wrong color to keep my son alive. It's all simple math. He won't collect 200 followers. He won't buy the boardwalk. And the get out of jail free card just doesn't exist for those with melanin blessed skin. There are still nights I don't sleep. There are still nights I count his beautiful eyelashes to make sure they are untouched by tears that I will cry for him. This country broke my son's heart, and now they will answer to his mama's roar. I will lay awake and protect this precious brown king I made by all means necessary, and it will always be necessary by all means.
Ow!
Wow,
Sandy!
that was so powerful, Sandy.
Ow!
That was fire. Y'all are killing it. Like,
Oh my
wow.
gosh. That was
Yeah.
powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
By all means necessary, sister.
Thank you to the LA Poet Society. Thank you for all your hard work, Jessica, Juan, all the great talent on here. We are so blessed. I can't wait for this book to come out. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing your words with us tonight, Sandy. Yeah, that was very much needed. So up next, we're gonna have Ideas, Aubrey, and with a piece called Changing History. I'm gonna go ahead and share it up on the screen. And then if you're ready, Ideas, the mic is
good?
yours. Yeah,
Can
you
you guys hear me? All right, let's get
Yeah,
some
we can hear
salute to
you.
Los Angeles Poet Society, everybody. Woo!
Woo!
Salute to all the poets, all the energy, all the light, all the justice we about to bring. This book is about to be amazing. I can't even wait. So the piece is called Changing History. I'm changing history. I'm tired of seeing color. The color of my skin is like dead skin, dry faces around my body. I see beauty, cocoa butter, shea butter, coconut oil around my body. I can feel it. My African roots is my skin. My 50 shades of Africa, 50 shades of my people, 50 shades of lion of justice. Do they only see color of my skin? Do they judge us? And they throwing away the key? We have broken of the cages. We have surrounded our voices around the world. I do not want to be a hashtag. I do not want to be on social media. I do not want to be on the news. I want to take a stand. Revolution. to educate my children, educate my brothers, educate my sisters. I am tired of seeing color bleed through my eyes, ripping up tears off my face. I am not going to run. I'm not going to be afraid. I want the sunset of my face. I want to change history, past, future, and present. This is the color of my skin, the color I look at my face. The strong beauty of my African roots will rise. No one that going to take my color. This is the color of my skin. Peace and love. Thank you.
Whew, that was so powerful. Damn. And also I wanted to share this graphic with everybody. Also as well. And then the words of that poem are in that graphic, and that's a very powerful poem. Again, y'all are all on fire and inspiring me. And this is a really beautiful graphic as well. And it's gonna look really great in the book, I'm sure. Thank you, Ideas. Did you that was the only piece you had in the book,
Yes,
right?
that was the only piece. You know, we on time. We are on time limit. I'm gonna make sure all the poets can have the beautiful time to show their work. Thank you, Los Angeles Poet Society. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Juan. Thank you, everybody who just came out tonight and brought that type of fire on Martin Luther King Day, so we can bring a different word. But like I say, victory on 2021. That's the new thing we should always focus on. So always have a strong victory every day. I know we are dealing with some challenging times, but do not remember there's light on the end of that tunnel. You are as poets, you're always going to have a victory. We're always going to go through our challenges, but those challenges are victories. So tonight we have made a victory. So keep doing what you do best, poets.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for those words. Yes. So up next, we're gonna have Rosalia. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Rosalia Mendoza. If they're here.
Let me check. She was on earlier. She might have
left.
Let's see. Rosalia, you here, sis?
I don't see Rosalia on here.
Oh, darn. Yeah,
okay.
she's not. I think she might have logged out. Darn.
Okay.
Big love to her. She's awesome.
Okay. Well, her work is in the book, so I'm sure y'all will check it out. So just for the sake of time, we're gonna move along to Juan Cardenas. And I'm sure he is here. He is here. Okay. Which piece would you like to share first, Juan?
Hi everyone, thank you so much, LA Poet Society, and thank you everyone, community, for being here. Whichever, Gato, whichever. I think that this fence, this fence side, I think. Are you gonna put it over on? Are you gonna screen share it, or should I?
Yeah, I'm gonna screen share. That's why I was just wondering.
Yeah, that one is fine.
Which one? I'm sorry.
Oh, this fence side. I'm trying to pull it out, but my device is so slow.
No, I got you. I'm gonna share it right now.
All right. So here's this one. Is called This Fenced Side. This fenced side with pulsating hearts, widening pupils, the sun radiating off their badge, slumber on the idea of peace, sleep through the night, teeth clenching in prayer to a rage, fingers hold tight their Glock in a sick love, leash around their neck, they bark in pain, their eyes white, whipped, ignorant they gallop, tongue bought by benefits, dressed in anonymous shame. Cop, you're inflicting addiction, it's going to kill you. That
Ooh.
was that one.
Yeah, that was a powerful poem. I just the teeth clenching in prayer to a rage. That's a really great line.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Gato,
and that
coming from like a great poet like you. I mean, I'm a big fan of you, Gato. You're awesome.
thank you. And yeah, that ending too is really great. Did you want to share another one?
Yeah, I think there's I think I have another one called "This Star Spangled COVID News."
Did you want to do the Star Spangled COVID or the Raft of Rats?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do Raft of Rats.
Okay, it's a great title. Go ahead.
Raft of Rats. God bless America. An epitaph, a curse to this land. God abandoned you because you have abandoned your God. Bathing in the blood of your Savior, tasting the steel as it passes by your lips, we watch you carve your own cross, where the hatred red that fuels your heart will finally be released from its imprisonment as the spear of humanity enters your ribs.
Whew. As the spear of humanity enters your ribs. That's
Yes.
wow.
You know,
that's, really
that's
great.
just colonialism is coming to an end, and it's because it's wide, you know, open for everyone to see. The world has the information at the tip of their fingertips, so there's no hiding now. The history is there. There's no the truth. The truth will set them free. It already has set us, you know. Yeah, and the last short one, which is it's called. Wait, I do have the Star Spangled COVID News. Is wide enough for all of our necks.
Yeah. Let me pull that one up.
It's quite a like a long, you know, title, but but it's a pretty short poem. So you know, this Star Spangled COVID News is wide enough for all our necks. Unmasked, somebody stop me. I long for collision. Catching my mesmerized breath, I let go of all embrace within to let my body burst its ghost out.
Yeah.
And you know, again, Gato, thank you so much for this. You know, for all the support you've put into this book. Los Angeles Poet Society first publication. So this is wow, this is so awesome, and just to hear all the voices and all of the poets in here, it's wow, this is really a document of people in reaction of what has happened in you know in this year, which has been, you know, different is the least I could say. But also, Sophie, thank you so much for the beautiful art cover, and thank you to everyone. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Jessica. You know, you are an angel to the literary scene in LA.
Yes, she really is. Just go put a lot of work into putting together this anthology and like having this press. And I'm so excited that LA Poet Society now has a press, because like we need more like independent presses and presses from like the people in their communities, not just like these like, you know, like people, I don't know, people call these like the big five or whatever, like I don't even know, like, but yeah, it's like we need more indie presses, because like, you know, we shouldn't, like the mainstream is, you know, mainstream is not like we're it. The mainstream poets, they're not really, you know, they're not talking about the really important stuff like we are here tonight. So yeah, thank you everybody for sharing your words. So up next we're gonna have Elise Swanson, and I believe they're still here. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull up the poem.
Is it up?
Is 1 second. Okay, there it is.
Oh. Okay, hi guys. I'm Elise Swanson. This is my first published anything, so I'm really
congratulations.
to be a part of the group. This is an amazing group of people and such an exciting work to be a part of. So thank you. I wrote this in 2018, actually, right before the midterm elections, and it's just been pretty relevant since then. It's called Beachfront Property. I see your second home. I see it because the windows are dark. Glory on earth, it was a neon sunset, but your windows are dark. A reflection when it should be like a projection of a home movie playing inside. I see your vacation home. I see it because the windows are dark. Look at the palm trees tossing in this biting cold. I'd like a hearth, but your windows are dark because the beach is only nice once a year. I see your investment home. I see it because the windows are dark. The front lawn is rocks, because why bother on this stale cul-de-sac? The sprawl bottlenecks, the rooms get smaller, the cars pile up, cluster, complain about the slums some more, please. Uncle Sam doesn't see your windows are dark, but I do. I see my neighbor too, and she sees me. And I see him and her and them and we, all of us, packed in here, murmuring with me. We all see your dark windows, and we're coming after them.
Ooh, thank you for your poem, Elise. That was really great. Thank you so much for sharing, and congratulations on your first publication. That's always really amazing to get your first publication, especially in an anthology that's so important. So thank you for sharing your work with us. Yeah. Did you want to say anything else, to share anything else with us?
No, that's it. I've really enjoyed listening to everyone's poems.
Okay. Oops, I meant to stop screen sharing so I could see you. Okay. And then yeah, if you have any Instagram links, feel free to drop them in the chat. Moving along, we're now going to have Mr. and I'm sorry if I mispronounced this, Mr. Tazosamak. I totally. I think I totally butchered that. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
And then you have ballistic resonance in the anthology. I'm gonna go ahead and share that, and then whenever you're ready, go ahead and start.
So one of the interesting things, and so I'm kind of drawing a parallelism here between, you know, the idea that all resonance, if you guys know what resonance is, that all systems have a natural resonant frequency where they oscillate or they become unstable. And it is a common fact that all systems are negatively regulated system, means that you as long as you're pushing on them, they will produce oscillations. But as soon as you stop pushing on them, they go back to a metastable state. And this research, this concept called ballistic resonance, says there are certain things that happen within the infrastructure of a system that can actually make it blow up. And this is the compare and contrast with what is happening in our society, like even today, right, where we were exploding because one group of people believe a reality that they want to constitute, and the rest of us who are like, yeah, that reality isn't there. And so they blow up, right? So this is kind of ballistic resonance. I'm no prophet. My job is making windows where there were once walls. Michel Foucault. Resonance is the phenomenon of an increased amplitude for a periodic disturbance on a metastable system, particularly if that disturbance is around the system's natural frequency / sensitivity. we keep asserting that periodic force at the resonant frequency, the system will oscillate at a higher change than if the same force is being applied at other less sensitive non-resonant points. As such, resonance occurs when a system is able to store and easily transfer energy between two or more different storage modes, such as kinetic energy and potential energy. The metastability of the system is determined by its ability to absorb kinetic energy and convert it to mechanical heat, also known as dampening. These systems have always been impeded by the Fermi pasta umla Zingau paradox, plainly stated that without externally inflicted kinetic energy, the perturbations over a long period of time will eventually be thermally absorbed by the system entropic noise. So this is where they tell you to suck it up, right? You know, you just take all the shit they give you. You see, this kinetic energy launched into an ergodic space appears as at first as a body without organs, a structure or a zone without imposed organization that can be sentient or inanimate. In the raw, it appears as a product of social alienation and destabilized, a surface on which repressed and uncontrollable desires flow without an organization but with consistency. With 324,000 US African Americans killed in the last 35 years, our diglossic schizophrenic world collapses, not into nonsense, but into the bodies that produce and create new worlds. Our new ergodic collective schizophrenic body, an organism without parts, which operates entirely by insufflation, respiration, and evaporation, and fluid transmissions from ballistic kinetic energy. This new schizophrenic body without organs howls, speaks a language without articulation, is more primal and dynamically communicative than the normative dominant regimes of signification. This socius is undifferentiated, non-hierarchical, deep the wilderness where the decoded flows run free, the end of the world, the apocalyptic, the eternal renewed product of alienation from the kinetic energy is being asked to absorb and embodied as thermic entropic dissipation. The apocalyptic refusal of not one more bullet of kinetic energy, not one more knee of kinetic energy, not one more broken baton of kinetic energy, not one more chokehold of kinetic energy, not one more word of alienating kinetic energy, the omniscient refusal of the crisscross axis, thresholds, gradients, latitudes, longitudes, and geodesic lines. This refusal body transverses gradients, marking the transition and new becomings, the destinations of the subject developing along ballistic resonant vectors. Your new body without organs that refuses to store kinetic energy into potential energy, the panoptic body that processes heat equilibrations that lead to mechanical vibrations, that resonates across orthogonal, symmetric, crystalline social meshes with self-amplifying amplitudes that grow instantaneously. This behavior of nanosystems that lead to physical effects, such as ballistic resonance. The effect is called ballistic resonance. And as such, it eliminates the Fermi pasta umla Zingau paradox and our endothermic apathy. Black Lives Matter.
Oh, wow. That was so deep. That was, yeah, that was so profound. There's so many different levels to that poem. And yeah, thank you so much for like bringing like this, I think somebody said in the chat, bringing in this scientific sort of perspective. And it's like, yeah, it always, like all your poems, like I heard some of your poems before at open mics, and I'm just like, whew, my brain's like, feels like it's like expanding. And there's just so many things that I feel like I still need to like learn. So thank you so much for sharing and like new perspectives and new knowledge and like different ways of thinking about these things, because that's really what poetry is all about.
Exactly.
So thank you.
Yeah, I think that the challenge as a poet is to change like lenses, change the lenses around, and then look at things from different angles and different perspectives, and draw different, contrasts between things. I think that's the real power of poetry,
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Thank you. Up next we have Andrea, Ivana. I'm not sure if they're here though. I don't see them on the participants list, but if I missed you and you're here, please, say something. Okay, so she's not here. Okay, so we only have 2 more poets left. And actually, I'm going to be reading for Karen because she asked me to read. So I'm going to have Marielle go, and then I'll read for Karen, and then you'll go last, Jessica? Okay, sounds good. So Marielle, let me...
Hi.
Hi. How you doing tonight?
Oh, good, thank you. I just want to say first, congratulations for all poets, and also to the organization Los Angeles Poet Society for organizing this. And first, I just want to tell you quickly something about me. And I was born here, but I grew up in El Salvador, and I'm half Mexican Salvadorian. So I learned English in 2005. And since now, I feel so happy that I can also help more people learning another language, because I knew only Spanish. I grew up only learning Spanish. So I made this poem because I noticed that the homeless community is also like some people, they not only they don't like helping them, but also they also hurt them. So and I got inspired because I also like to help in the Pasadena Union Station. And I see a lot of people always, they have a story to tell. So that's what I did this poem.
Okay,
thank
great.
you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and share it. And then, yeah, whenever you're ready.
Okay, this poem was made in the middle of the summer. It's called Under the Same Sun. And a lot of people say that you smell bad, that you were dirty with a lot of germs, or you may have a contagious disease. I saw a strong woman trying to find food, drugs, or alcohol, who cares, or whatever she needs to survive this ugly world. I thought about your story. What made you walk under the sun? And what made you challenge the traffic? Did you think that a car can't hit you? Do you think that you can't die? People call you crazy, a thief. I call you a warrior. It is so hot. Summer can't be fun for those who don't know where they are going to be in the fall. Asking for money is not a crime when you have 100 tales to tell everyone. So see you at the same time every day under the same sun. Thank you.
Oh, wow. I love that piece. Like that's so, yeah, there's so many great lines in that. And I love that you said, I saw a strong woman. And then you listed all those things like needs to survive in this ugly world. It's so true. Like that's very, that's just it's very beautiful and very insightful. And then, yeah, asking for money is not a crime when you have 100 tales to tell everyone. I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank you so much. Poetry is beautiful because especially for injustice, we can use it. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm so happy and humbled that to be a part. Also, it's first time that I am in a book, in anthology. Thank you.
Congratulations. That's awesome. We're so happy to have you included.
Thank you.
Yes.
I wanna be more involved too in the meetings that you guys have. I know you guys have online because the place is a little far where I live. I live by Pasadena, So where you guys go every.
Oh, at the Chuchas. Yeah. Well, now everything's online, everything's virtual, so we can all just connect from everywhere.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're like the LA Poet Society, so we're like it's like we have different we have different areas that we it's like we're trying to expand everywhere. So become part of the team, like you can we can have like a Pasadena LA Poet Society sort of like like so it doesn't just have to be in like when it can be everywhere.
Thank you so much, and I hope to learn from all of you and write like that. So beautiful poems, everyone. Yeah, to make a change.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So next, so I'm gonna go ahead and read Karen's poem for her, because she's a child, and she has to leave early, unfortunately. So I'm gonna go ahead and read her poem for her. It's called "The Pipers Played There." The pipers played there. Their tune for you, and you danced. How shall we then live? Whatever happened to the human race? Yes, whatever happened to the human race? And a child shall lead them, not even a child, a proto-human, not yet formed, still being knit together, still alien and strange, an embryo shall lead them. Behind these innocent feet are the rumblings of the big men in the back, non-smoke filled rooms, faces red with anger over a green decision. Bob Jones, the taxman, is coming for you. I can smell fear in your white eyes. Your world is coming unraveled. You slam your fists on the table. Instead of murdering babies, we'll murder the nation with the sweet-smelling carrot of morality and outrage, wash it down with fear and the fires of hell. With our piper's tune, we have bought our soul, all your souls, sealed with a diet of tiny dismemberments and severed limbs. Power knows no end to this hunger. The embryo grows teeth. How dare you use it this way? For unholy alliances, it will turn now, ripping you, your red lines and blue veins to shreds. And yeah, that was Karen's poem. I'm actually gonna just highlight her bio real quick. So if anyone wants to follow her, got her a little bit of information on there. I'm gonna leave that up for a second. Yeah, that was a beautiful poem too. And everyone has shared tonight has been really amazing. And like, yeah, like I think my heart broke, and like, I mean, some of those pieces were so tender, and like, yeah, and like some of it's so powerful. So it's yeah, thank you everybody for being a part of this. It's so important that we're here, and then we're talking about all the injustices that are happening around the world and here, because especially like with folks who are privileged, like like a lot of us can be privileged to not have to experience this day to day, but these are still happening. So we need to continue to getting our voices heard. And like I feel like now there's been sort of more of a lull since like all the summer protests and everything, but we can't we got to keep talking about this. Like we can't not have these conversations about like white supremacy and race and anti-Blackness and all of those other like injustices that are like capitalism and all that. So it's all really important. And now to close out the night, we're gonna have Jessica with her amazing poem, and I just want to give her so much props for let me stop sharing, and then I don't know how to highlight you, Jessica. Can you highlight yourself?
I'll spotlight myself. I'll be like,
yeah, can you spotlight yourself, please?
I'll put the candle up to me. Just kidding.
It won't let me do it. Oh.
I think I can spotlight myself. Oh yeah, here I am.
Okay, there you go. Perfect.
I'm too big.
So yeah, you did so much work for this anthology. And I know I was co-editor on it, but like I feel like you did like 80% of the work, and I just kind of slipped in at the end and helped a little bit, if I'm being honest.
You were
but...
there when I needed you the most, so it's you were just as much of essential as I am on this book. So thank you.
Okay. But no, thank you, Jessica. And thank you, you do so much, and you put on so many great events. And yes, thank you for your existence and your resistance, and all the things that you do. And I can't wait for you to share your poem. Did you want to do Afraid of the Darkness, or
Yeah, let's do
the
it. Oh
Invasion,
man.
or let's do all of them?
I remember when I first wrote that poem, I'm like, God, do I say this out loud? This was years ago. And I know for the my black brothers and sisters that are here right now and that are listening, I mean, this is nothing new to you all. And I'm sad that your life is like with this shadow of just this so much pressure of this hatred, and wherever this comes from, like the root of it, I can't say I know. But when I wrote this poem, Afraid of the Darkness, I was like, do I say that people are afraid of black people? I feel like so messed up to say that out loud, you know? It hurts to say that out loud. And I'm like, what is going on? So I wrote this years ago, and I remember reading it and being wet palms and shaky and so scared to say it. But now, like, I read it and I'm so proud I wrote this, and gotta say it louder. So yeah, let's see it, and I'm happy to read it.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's some truth, and it's I think part of like dismantling anti-blackness is talking about how, like, yes, we are conditioned to be anti-black, and it's terrible, but that is a truth that we have to actually acknowledge if we want to move forward. So go ahead, Jessica.
Thank you. Afraid of the Darkness. When are we going to tell our children? They are killing all the black people. Who are they? People that grew out of the same system as all the black Americans. Black people being purged from freedom, from their democracy, their invested time and lives. Their money is good enough, but not their skin, not the air they breathe. They're killing all the black people, citizens of our country, the boy in your 8th grade class, your best friend in kindergarten, your high school friend, your work buddy, your lunch date, your ex-boyfriend, your girlfriend. They're killing all of the black people. What made them the enemy? Why see black and get so scared? Is it like looking into the night, the unknown depth of the seas? They're killing all of the black people. Do their fingers look like a loaded gun? Do their arms look like assault rifles? Do their mouths look like a battalion ready for attack? Why are they killing our people? When you have your black, brown, non-white baby, what will you tell them about their freedom? Your womb cannot protect them. Your skin cannot shield theirs. We all bleed red. Human beings. Why can't they see it? We need to bring mercy to its knees. Please tell me our black people are not safer in a cage, away from more police rage, rapid gunfire, fast trigger pulling, lying about murder, lying about murder, lying about murder, about murder. They are killing all of our black people.
Ooh. Damn, that was That was so powerful, Jessica. And your reading, yeah, that.
And that
Wow.
was written for Alton Sterling. At that time, Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, George Floyd. I added George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Dijon Keesey from Los Angeles. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's another piece I'd like to read in there. Actually, yeah, there you go. The Invasion. This one is for Andy Lopez and Meli Corrado. These are victims of police violence. These are our brown, our Latinx brothers and sisters that I am noting here in this poem. The Invasion for Andy Lopez and Meli Corrado. Actually, Meli was a friend of mine and a deep friend of my husband's family. It was his sister's best friend since middle school. For all of those, for all of the dead. You're not forgotten. We rise up for justice for you in your name, in your spirit, and we will continue to use our art to rise up for you. With that. The Invasion. Why not say anything? Why not do anything? Why not make a move to improve the way you see me? Brown skin capturing light, eyes brown like the roots of Mother Earth, into my mother, into my grandfathers, into my land. Yes, this is our land. You extended yourself overseas to join us on Turtle Island, the land occupied by red, black, and brown bodies. Totems in the air made to honor our senses, our connection to the gods that bring us wind, rain, fire, clouds, ocean song, balance and fertility of the cycles that exist to create us. You make us try so hard to breathe through your tyranny, to be able to exist freely, playfully, spirit of life that smiles to greet existence. But you came here to conquer, silence all other bodies, or wrongfully bed them to make them yours. Our bodies do not belong to you. We do not need to silence our skin because your eyes cannot stand to hold the blessing of the sun upon our cuerpos. We glow because we belong to the earth. We glow because our life pulsates to the song of our skin, vibrations humming, beauty. It's where we belong. We will gladly share earth with you if you mute your inclination to kill us. And Andy Lopez was murdered by police in Santa Rosa, California in 2013 for carrying a toy gun. He was 13 years old. And Meli Corrado was murdered by police in Los Angeles, California in 2018 in a crossfire between police and a suspect. And she was killed while she was working inside Trader Joe's.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Like, yeah, both of like Andy and what happened to Melly was, yeah, this is why, like, with the police too, it's terrible. The tragedies that they inflict on people. And yeah, we need to, like what Estella said in the chat, like we absolutely need to honor the people that have been killed by, you know, murdered by the police. Thank you for sharing with that, Jessica. Thank you for your words.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening. And the last poem that's in here from me, and also I wanted to acknowledge and mention to you all, Maybe we should go up to the table of contents. And I was so nervous just to get everything started. But if we look at the table of contents, I just want to show everyone the structure of this book. That we have 3 sections here. And again, this book was put together, for the people in response after the murder of George Floyd. That was the catalyst for this call to action. That we need to talk about this. Whoever we are, wherever we are, we need to talk about this. And that's why I feel that we're so blessed and fortunate that so many voices outside of the United States also spoke up and shared here as well and are included in this book. But the sections are righteousness, so standing up for Black and Brown. And each section also has a quote from one of our heroes, like Walter Mosley or Zora Neale Hurston.
Yeah, this is a righteous.
Langston Hughes. Yeah, so each section has like a quote from them as well. But we have righteousness, standing up for Black and Brown. We have the section on courage and resilience, looking forward, stepping up together, shaping the path. And then we have empathy. This is the social justice for she. So this section about empathy for she is actually a section that I included in this book because it is a book of social justice. And a few years back, we put out a call for poems to support She Does. And for those of you that may not know She Does, it's a movement that was started in Los Angeles by Mel Torkami. But anyhow, it's a movement to see the homeless women of Los Angeles housed. And this was a big motion to get the women housed because the state has received a lot of funding to help solve the homelessness crisis, and in particular Los Angeles got billions of dollars. So I believe the stats at the time, I think it was like 30,000 women were homeless. So these were poems written in support of the She Does movement to see our sisters become housed. And Marieli's poem is written to that, and this last poem I'm going to share is also written to that. But the last section of the book is dedicated to is called Empathy, and it's justice, social justice for she. So I wanted to mention that. Okay, so here is the last poem I'm going to share, called Homeless in 2015. Yeah, here we go. All right. Step awake. The law has been passed, not to bend, but to come in defense of beating footsteps, unsacred presence, to harm and to subjugate. No theories could alleviate the pains of the Fed in all its forms. Citywide, nationally, they expect all the people to tuck and hide. In what? The sewers? The end of consciousness that people are suffering with nowhere left to maneuver? It's archaic to breathe such thoughts and stomp them out on the throats of the lost, souls tempering purgatory and your hell their quithered grin. Step around no brother, no sister or lover, a soulmate, son or daughter. Trans, dependent, independent, does it matter? The fish should turn to question who came up with this intention to take down another, skirting poverty, no loving break, taking away pride, home, the right to think, and pray you say the right words. They run rabid for your life, intolerance for your right to be. So thank you so much. Yes, I mean, I don't know how it is in other states or other places, but here in Los Angeles, it's just they expect homeless to sleep on the asphalt. Like it's illegal to be in a park. It's illegal to go into grass. If you have no home, you have to be out on public display in the middle of, it's like you're not even trying to help the problem, but you're putting them on display to like humiliate people, to it's disgusting. It's so atrocious. It's painful. And this was like a few years ago. This wasn't that long ago, like maybe 2 to 3 years ago. But we have to stand up for our houseless brothers and sisters, because housing is a human right. And I want to also take a moment to support the reclaimers of Los Angeles, Iristanda, and the group out of El Sereno. Reclaimers are folks that are saying, hey, these homes have been boarded up for decades. And there's people here on the street, a whole family in their car that need shelter. What the hell are you doing, state of California, keeping these closed off to people that can use a place to live? So I think it's righteous that they reclaim these homes and are fighting to have a solution. It's time that the people, us, we take we offer solutions, and we take action towards that solution, and help empower each other to take action together and to be part of that. And I know Gato, I don't want to reveal too much, but the reimagining of what we can do and achieve as a society, and how we can rebuild and dismantle that colonial system that is so unjust to people of color, anybody that is, not a white man. And this is not a direct attack. I love my white family too, but damn, stand up. I love V.K. Lynn's poem. She's standing up for her brother. She's standing up for her black friends, and that's what we got to do, and unite and rise up. Right on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like the houselessness crisis in LA is terrible. It's like you see all these like high rises that they're building, and like most of them are empty, and they're just being like Airbnb'd, and it's just people making like money off of it, and like there's literally just like hundreds of tents like all over LA, and it's like we could house people. Like there's so many empty homes, it just doesn't make any sense, and it makes me so angry, because it's like we could actually house people. But it's like all these other forces are like, oh no, you need to like pay for housing, or you need to like earn your housing, like. And it's like people have all these, it's like people don't understand that people are going through mental health crises, all these other things. It's like people are just like, oh, they're lazy. No, like people have like, there's so many other like, between like anti-blackness and all of this other like, mental health issues, like, patriarchy, all of it. It's just like, and all these systems of oppression.
Exactly. I always take it back to basics. Okay, a person is born, they exist. They're gonna find a way to shelter their body. Like that's just a natural human right. We shouldn't like not allow folks to shelter themselves. Like, it's essential, and it's basic, and there's so much land and so much space on planet Earth where everyone can have a little roof over their head, if not a big palm frond or something, right? Like, so shelter is essential. We're not that hairy. We can't just live out there with all of our fur and survive. We need a home. We need something. So yeah, we gotta come back at that and help house our human family.
Yeah, like Sophie was saying, food, shelter, and health is a human right. Like that's absolutely, like that's, all those things, like we should have access to like all of those things. Like, yeah, like that shouldn't have to be a question. It's just like, oh, like let's just let people like why, when we have so many like people, like food gets thrown away. Like at grocery stores, they will throw food away.
That's disgusting. Someone could like use it, be like,
yeah.
But no, let's let them look through the trash and then look at them like, ew, they're going through the trash. I mean, it's so mad. It's a horrible system. This is a horrible system.
Yeah, it's terrible. That's why we need to, and that's, there's going to be a new call for an anthology. It's still kind of in the works. So it's a little like, it's not out yet, but thinking about like solutions and new ways of thinking about how we're gonna, because we're all angry about this, but like what, how do we reimagine what our world should really look like? Because Yeah.
Yep.
This world is not doing it.
No. So I want to give a big love to you, Caro, for holding it down with me, and thank you for all the energies you put into this document to bring it to life. And I want to thank all the contributors, the artists, the poets, the writers, the new writers, those that are coming forward and are like, hey, I'm part of this book. Yes, you are. So just logistically speaking, all the contributors, you all get a copy of the book. So I'm giving you, or actually I already sent you a digital copy, but I'm going to send you a revision because I saw a couple things I need to fix. So I'll send you a digital copy, and then you're all going to get a contributor's copy of the book when it's printed, which is going to be soon. It should be available, I'm hoping next month, probably mid-February we should have it. And but I'll keep you all posted. Also, you can pre-order it. So again, you get one free copy, but if you want to buy more or you want to let people know how to get it, it's $28. Right now you can pre-order. We do Venmo, Zelle, PayPal. We will cover the shipping. So if you're interested, you can always email us at losangelespoetsociety@gmail.com.
I have a question, Jessica. Is it a final edition already, or are there any more edits that can be made?
It is. I'm not adding pages or anything like that. If like your name was misspelled, I'll adjust that. Like I know Sophie, I had misspelled her name, so I'm updating that. But I'm not including any new work. But yeah, is there like a line or something that needed to be
There's
edited?
one word that it was pointed out to me by another poet who is actually from South Central, because I'm not from South Central. And I think there was one word, one street name. She goes, but wait a minute, I don't know if that's particularly crossing the 104 that you mentioned, 104 in Slauson. I think it's supposed to be 104th and something else. Like,
Okay. Well, yeah, email me if there's like a little tweak like that. I can update that, you know. I'm just saying don't add like I don't want people to like add or have their buddies email me some new stuff like this is it. This is the book. It's
yeah, and it's beautiful actually. I want to thank you so much to Jessica, Caro. Jessica, I don't know how you do it, honestly. I'm just so surprised all the time by you. You're shocking me. We're moving. Okay, Jessica was moving.
That's why I took 2 weeks off. This is my first outing in
And then 2 little kids, your babies, and just everything you do, the whole schedule you have for December and this. I mean, come on, you're amazing. I just want to say you, and thank you, Caro. Caro, you're always the sweetest and always there to help her. And I really appreciate your presence all the time. I love you guys.
We love you too, Estella.
Yes. Love you too, everyone, Estella, Jessica, and everyone here. Thank you, around for everyone who's like still here. That stuck around for. I think we've been here for like
since
3.5 hours.
I know.
So
We could do one more like group screenshot. Well, these are the diehards right here.
Yeah,
the ones up at 10:30, wherever you live in the world. We're here. All right, let's do one more screenshot. Do you want to do the fist thing? You want to be like that? We can do one. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, let me put that in there, and then we'll do a smiley one. All right, and we'll smile, everyone. All right, let me see if I can get my logo in there. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Awesome. Yay! The new way that we take our pictures now. Hey, it works. It's showing what we did tonight. Yay! So that's the party. Woohoo! I was saying if you want to support LA Poet Society, which I totally should have said in the beginning, I'm just like, I got to get a marketing person on my team. Anybody into that kind of stuff? Come on over. But I should have been like, donate to us here, there. I'm like, but we have LA Poet Society t-shirts in black and white. They're $15, and we have up to size 2X. If you're interested in that, that's the way you can support us. There's our shirts, and it has our logo in the back. Also, you can always make a donation to us on our website here. This is lapoetsociety.org. And there's tons of links there and ways you can donate. Also here on the bottom. There's a little donate button. Or again, if you want to get more books, I'm gonna create an official, pre-order slide to put out there in social media land. But they're $28 free shipping right now. So if you want to get more books, it's 258 pages, color, all the art, photos, all be color. So yeah, those are ways you can support. I want to also give a shout to our new partner, who's been here joining us, Poets and Muses. I just want to say hi to Imogen. And check out her podcast. She has over 100 and I think she has like close to 110 different poets, BIPOC poets, and different artists. And you can check her out. There's hot links here to her blog, her podcast.
Thank
So I just
you,
wanted to give a
Jessica.
shout out to her.
Appreciate that, Jessica.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
Big love. Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year. We have a lot of more things happening, new calls for submission that are going to be starting. For February, we're doing an anonymous poem exchange, like a love poem, and we'll just anonymously, you be anonymous, but we'll send them out to a different person that wants to participate in it. So you get my gist. So that we'll be doing that for February. We're also going to be starting an elegies poetry call for the dead, for those that died of COVID from last year. And so elegies will be an ongoing call for the rest of this year. We're also going to continue our Love Letters to 2020 project, because we realize not just the people that were in that group last year are the only ones that have something to say and deserve to process their trauma. I think this is a service we should offer all year long. So we're going to be offering more of those workshops and opportunities to write through the 2020 traumas, to celebrate the 2020 triumphs, and then building to the future. So we got you covered. And then our online literary magazine, Acid Verse, should be making its debut by the end of this month. Rosie Alonso's in charge of that, so it's not me. God and I were on this book, and Rosie's got the zine. But that'll be coming out soon. And I just want to thank you all for your support and being here. I love you. Be safe. Take care of each other. Mask up. Over the nose. I always get bugged by the guys and girls that are like that. It's like over the nose, everyone. Over the nose. All right. If y'all you can unmute. If y'all want to say stuff, put your info in the chat. I will make this chat available. I'll email it to everybody.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Estella, and thank you to Somok, and thank you, Sophie and Gato, and everybody that was here. All of your poetry was ideas. Thank you so much for being here, and Brenda. I mean, I love all of your poetry. So listening to everything, and I am so blessed to have caught all of your beautiful words. Thank you so much.
Love you, everybody. You guys were all great. Loved all your voices that were really your heart speaking. So what can I say? I'm very proud and honored to be amongst all of you too. And yeah, and we'll stay here. We'll keep connected all the time with Los Angeles Poet Society.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see the book. It looks like it's going to be beautiful. So thanks for putting all the hard work in and getting that together. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite the powerful collection. So thanks.
Thank you. And if y'all know of, if you all are really in the know of like awards and stuff, like contests that books should be sent to, let us know. This is virgin territory for me, and I think virgin territory for Gato. So, if you know, like, hey, make sure to submit it to this, and like, let us, like I said, keep in touch. Let us know that info. We appreciate it. Like I said, we all rise up together with this book. And we're a press that will continue the life cycle of the book. We're not going to be like, it's printed, here you go. We want this book to continue on and make a real impact. It does take us all to do that work too. So as an author, please, as a contributor, please do your part to shop the book and to get people to get a copy of it. If you have professor friends, academic friends that, you think this will help their classes, hey, make that connection or let us know the info and we'll make it for you, but it's a village. It does take a village.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do it by ourselves. And, we're familia. we're book family now. So you know what I'm saying?
Thank you so much. I appreciate this time and this love and everybody's soul. I felt everyone's soul tonight, like the energy, the vibe, the auras. It's just so beautiful to see light and shimmer during these hard times. So yes, thank you. Beautiful. So beautiful. I just purchased one on Venmo, so I'm gonna promote it.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
I'm like, get this book. My first time being published amongst the other ones who had, just got published as well for the first time. So it's,
That's awesome.
It's good.
That's so cool. I love it. I love it. 52 people, 52 voices.
Yes. And how many we have now? 14?
Oh, yeah, the 14 folks here. Yeah, right on.
Yay. Well, I'm gonna log off, but thank you. I love you all. And I'll see you on Instagram.
Yeah. See you on Instagram.
Bye,
Oh,
everyone.
yeah.
Bye,
and I'll send you the
everybody.
link to
Have a good
this.
night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you, Caro.
Night. Night.
Good night. Power to the people. Big love. Bye, everyone. Remember, this is just the beginning. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Jessica. This was really great.
Thank you, Gato.
Have a good
Couldn't have
night.
done it without
Bye.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you, Gato. You rock.
Bye.
You're so cool.
Thanks. So are you guys. Okay, bye.